Yeah, this is case number 333 on the calendar, the matter of Perry versus Carlton. Parties have been sworn in, Judge. You may be seated, sir.
Mr. Perry, Miss Carlton, according to you, caused an accident.
That's correct, Your Honor.
Caused an accident causing damage to your car and injury to you.
That's correct, Your Honor.
Miss Carlton says that there was a merge, you wouldn't let her in, and once she got in, you accelerated. So the accident was your fault. You really weren't injured at all. You just behaved very badly. So you want to tell me first when this happened?
This occurred on July 26th of 2004, Your Honor.
That's your diagram. I'd like you to show me your car.
My car would be back here, Your Honor.
The red.
The defendant would be the blue car here.
So she was merging in behind a truck and in front of you.
That's correct, Your Honor.
Tell me what happened.
Well, we were proceeding westbound on Main Street, and this lane where you see the defendant is actually not a lane. It is a lane that has been merged into a right turn lane. What happened was she came from about 4 cars back. She decided to come up.
4 cars back, so she was behind
the
purple car.
She was actually in the left-hand lane about 4 cars back.
And how do you know that?
I saw her in my right rear view mirror.
So she came out of that lane, the same lane that you were in?
That's correct, Your Honor. Came down this center lane, which is blocked off because of construction, ran over this cone here, actually, behind this truck. We were moving at approximately 15 to 20 miles an hour. She then cut in very sharply behind the truck right in front of me, which was only about 5 feet distance. At that point in time, I had no options. I didn't have any reaction time. I ran over her rear end, which caused my right front end to go up over her rear end, causing my car to tilt to the left and then bounce back down.
What kind of car were you driving?
I'm driving a Jeep Cherokee, Your Honor.
And Miss Carlton?
Miss Carlton was driving a little Echo, Toyota Echo.
So your car actually went up on top of hers?
It actually went up on her wheel and came back down, Your Honor.
The whole back of the car?
No,
or
on her left rear quarter panel, where her tire is. It actually went up over it. There were scuff marks on her left rear quarter panel from my tire.
So the side?
Yes.
Of her car?
Yes, Your Honor.
Okay.
At that point, I was thrown over to the side. When the car came back, I jammed my head on the door jamb. At that point, I honked and started honking vigorously. She stuck her hand out the window and waved at me and took off.
Where did she take off?
She took off into this left-hand lane, which proceeded left. At that point, there's an overpass at that point that goes over the freeway. On the other side of the overpass, there's a Baker's restaurant. In that restaurant, she finally pulled into the restaurant. I pulled in, blocked her from turning out towards the left to get back on another street. And at that point, she stopped, exited her car, very profoundly said, "What are you doing?" I signaled, "What the are you doing?" And at that point, I asked her for her driver's license, her registration, and proof of insurance. She said, "I'm not giving you anything." At that point, she took a young child, it appeared to be a young male, out of the back seat of the car.
Is that what she said? I'm not giving you anything?
I'm not giving you anything. And she took this young male, which had not been seatbelted in. There was no car seat in that car.
How old was the child?
About 4 or 5 years old, Your Honor.
Okay.
She took him into the restaurant, was in there for about 10 minutes. In the meantime, I'm calling the police, reporting what was going on. She comes back out of the restaurant with food and the child. About 10 minutes later, a gentleman shows up, identifies himself as her husband, and proceeds to start cussing at me and yelling at me, and tells me that he's going to kick my and take care of me. And at that point in time, I walked away from them, again calling the police, telling them that this had escalated into an adversary situation and I needed help. We waited for about another 10 to 15 minutes. He talked with the defendant got in her car, and they drove away.
And you got their license?
The only thing I was able to get was the license plate off of her car.
So that's how you tracked it down?
I attempted to track it through the DMV, who, through multiple things, they decide you can't do that. They would notify her to notify me, which she had already decided not to give me that information.
Now, according to your complaint, sir, you were injured. I'd like you to tell me how you were injured.
I was having a lot of neck pain. I was having severe headaches. I went to see Dr. Recognized that this was a whiplash injury.
Listen to me. What kind of work do you do, sir?
I'm a chiropractor, Your Honor.
Okay, and who's Dr.?
Dr. is a chiropractor.
A colleague of yours?
Yes.
Okay. How many days were you out of work, sir, after the 26th?
I was not out of work, Your Honor.
Good. How much damage did you have done to your car?
About $100 worth of damage.
Do you have
I have
receipt?
the estimates of the damages to my car, Your Honor.
Okay.
Exhibit 3.
Okay. May I see it, please?
Exhibit 3.
Exhibit 3. So this whole thing was $62.31. That was the damage to your car?
The end caps on my bumper and the stabilizer, Your Honor, yes.
Is there anything else other than Exhibit 3?
No, Your Honor.
Okay. You work 5 days a week, sir?
I work 6 days a week, Your Honor.
Okay. And you didn't miss any work?
I didn't miss any work, but I did
Good.
work in pain.
I'm sure your doctor friend was able to help you.
Yes. Yes, very definitely.
Good.
Judge Judy continues in a moment.
Did you ask the owner of the restaurant if you could use the phone to call the police?
No.
And if somebody is attacking you, you do that, right?
Right. And I did.
And you didn't. You got hamburger and fries.
No, I didn't.
And later today,
How much was the bail?
$550. I said, can you come and pay it, and I'll pay you at least half of it that day.
You just told me that you had the money. All you had to do
I
was
had
be
half
able to.
of the money.
I'm speaking.
Sorry.
Remember what I said to you before? If you tell the truth, you don't have to have a good memory.
real cases, real people. Judge Judy.
Dr. Richard Perry claims he was injured due to a car accident caused by Felissa Carlton. Felissa says Richard is a hothead.
All right, Miss Carlton, I want you to tell me what happened, madam.
I proceeded to merge onto the left lane, and I looked over my shoulder. There was plenty of room, so I decided to keep going. And as I was proceeding, I heard an acceleration, and then I felt a slight bump. It didn't seem bad, so that's why I was like, because I was trying to say, it's okay, don't worry about it. But he honked, and he was raging, and so I didn't pull over right away until I got into Baker's, because there was no way I could pull over. We were going over the pass. So when I pulled over, I'm sorry, but he's the one who asked, what the F do you think you're doing? I tried to talk to him. I tried to calm him down. I said, my kids are in the car. And he says, I don't give an F. Who's in the car with you? And I couldn't calm him down. I couldn't talk to him. I couldn't give him any information.
Did he ask you for your license, registration, and insurance?
No, ma'am.
He did not?
No.
That would be odd.
I couldn't talk to him.
No. Miss Carlton, I don't believe that.
I'm sorry.
I don't believe that. All right, sir. You want to step up?
Mm-hmm. Sure.
Your wife called you and said she had been in an accident?
Yes, Your Honor.
Were those her exact words?
Well, what happened when she called me, she told me that she was just in an accident, and while she's talking to me, I heard the plaintiff cussing in the background, yelling at my wife, and I tried to get her, explain to me what happened, and she's trying to tell him to calm down, and so she could talk to me. And she said he's acting like a child. He won't exchange information. And I have the kids with me, so I left work and I went to see what was going on.
So why didn't you give him a license, registration, and insurance?
I asked him. I said, "Well, is there anything you'd like to tell me that you were telling my wife?" And he said, "Yeah." He said, "You're an idiot." Well, at that point, I told him in not so many nice.
Why didn't you just give him your license, registration, and insurance?
Because my wife had told me she had already tried that, and he was not cooperating.
Well, why didn't you try it, sir?
Well, at that point, I was there to take care of my wife, who was being attacked by an angry man.
He wasn't attacking her when you got there, was he?
He was on the phone when I heard him.
He was not attacking her when you got there, was he?
That's right. No, he was not.
And she had already been in the restaurant with your son.
Right.
Is that right? Gotten food, right?
Yes.
And when you went into the restaurant and you got the food, did you ask the owner of the restaurant if you could use the phone to call the police?
No.
And if somebody is attacking you, if somebody is acting like a lunatic, you do that, right? You call the police and you say, somebody is out there, I'm afraid, right?
Right. And I did.
And you didn't. You got hamburger and fries.
No, I didn't.
Now, you came outside before your husband arrived, correct?
Right.
Right. So if you're really afraid of somebody, if they're behaving like a lunatic, you stay inside the restaurant until either the police arrived, who you didn't call, or your husband arrives. That's just common sense. So I don't believe that you were frightened.
Okay.
I also think, Mr. Perry, that you overreacted. I don't think you make a big deal about something if you have a fender bender. You had a fender bender that cost you $62.31, not $5,000.
The medical expenses are what cost the most. There's about $4,000 in medical expenses, Your Honor.
As far as I'm concerned, Dr. Perry, If you are in so much pain that you have $4,000 worth of medical expenses, you miss 1 day of work.
Unfortunately,
Dr. Perry,
Your Honor,
you know where I'm going
my patients
with you?
don't quite get to that point.
Listen, Dr. Perry, it's not a question of your patients not getting to that point. If you have $4,000 worth of medical expenses, you can't work, at least for 1 day. So I think that your medical expenses and your pain and suffering are a little bit of who shot John. But you are entitled to the amount of money to have your car fixed. Judgment for the plaintiff in the amount of $62.31. That's all.
Parties are excused. You may step out.
I wasn't debilitated to the fact that I could not work.
If he's injured, he's injured.
It was debilitation to the fact that I was suffering pain.
I can't say I don't have his body.
I think he got what he deserved.
She's Judge Judy. She did her job.
And now the next case.
All parties in the matter of Vargo versus Beck. Step forward, please.
Plaintiffs Helga Vargo and her ex-husband, Robert, are suing their former friend, 25-year-old nursing assistant Billy Joe Beck, for the cost of bail when Billy Joe was arrested for outstanding warrants.
Miss Vargo, who's this?
This is my ex-husband.
And this used to be a friend of yours, I gather.
Yes.
And according to your complaint, she called you hysterical one day, that she had been arrested and she needed you to help her out with some bail money.
Yes.
You did, and she didn't pay you back.
Right.
And Miss Beck says, well, she paid you back some, and the rest was a gift. That's your defense.
Right.
What were you arrested for, Miss Beck?
I went to traffic court and I had to pay fines, and I paid partial, and I was supposed to pay the rest back, but I thought I had paid it all off, and I didn't know I got a letter in the mail at my grandmother's house. She had thrown it away, so I never knew that I had a remaining amount, so they put a warrant on my driver's license, and that's why I ended up in jail.
When were you summoned and told to pay fines? In what year?
It was back in 2002.
For what?
Traffic violations.
What kind
Speeding.
of... Speeding. How many times were you caught speeding?
Twice.
Okay, and how much were the fines that the judge imposed?
Total, it came to $550.
How much of the $550 did you pay?
$350 before I moved.
So you knew you had $200 left to pay?
Yeah, I think I did. Yes, I did.
See how easy it is?
Yeah.
There's an old adage. Do you have parents, grandparents?
Yeah.
They'll tell you something, and it's a very good thing to live by. If you tell the truth, you don't have to have a good memory.
Right.
Now, did you expect the court in Ohio to send you a second or third invitation to pay the other $200?
I was supposed to get another letter to appear back in court, and I never
For what?
got it. To pay back the rest, because I was...
So you expected another invitation.
Right.
You expected
I
them
was supposed to get another
re-invite you to come in.
I guess you could say that.
Good. So now you're arrested, and you were stopped for something, I assume, which is how they...
No, I was across the street where my nursing home is, a convenience store, and the cop had pulled in, ran my plate, and when I was coming back, he pulled us over in the parking lot.
Why would a cop just run your plate?
I asked him that.
And he said,
being 2 o'clock in the morning, normally people that are at a convenience store are there to rob them. And I'm like, I'm in my scrubs. I'm not going to rob anybody. You've seen me come back to work. And he's like, that don't make a difference.
So he ran your plate and found that there was a warrant for you.
Correct.
How much was the bail?
Total with the warrant fee and everything, it came back to $550.
So you called Miss Vargo.
Right, because they wouldn't let me leave to go get the money to pay them.
Sounds right to me. So
I know.
that suggests to me that if they allowed you to leave, you had the money.
Right.
Is that what you're telling me?
I had the means to go get it, but they wouldn't let me leave to go get it, to bring it back.
What kind of means did you have, Miss Beck, to go get it?
Check cashing.
So you could have gotten that quickly.
Yeah.
Good. So then you called Miss Vargo, and you must have said to her...
I asked her, I said, they're not going to let me leave until I pay this off. I said, can you come and pay it, and I'll pay you at least half of it that day. I actually paid her the next day. And I said, I'm not going to be able to pay you the rest because the money that I'm getting it from is a check cashing place, so I won't be able to pay you back the rest. And she said that was fine.
You just told me that you had the money. All you had to do was be able to...
the money.
I'm speaking.
Sorry.
Remember what I said to you before? If you tell the truth, you don't have to have a good memory. You just told me you had the money to pay the $550, but they wouldn't let you leave.
Right.
Then you called her and you told her a lie. You said, I'll be able to only pay you half.
I wouldn't have been to pay the court all of it. I would have been able to pay them half that day, and then...
They don't want half. They don't trust you.
I know. That's why I couldn't pay it.
All right. Now that I've tortured her sufficiently to satisfy me, Ms. Vargo, you allowed her to write out this $550 on a credit card, and the credit card, unfortunately, belonged to your ex-husband.
To both of us. It was a joint account.
But he started to get the bills.
Right.
Which made you very unhappy.
Yes.
Do you have a copy of the bill?
Yes, I do.
Let me see.
It's a copy of the bill and what it's now accrued to with interest and late charges.
Okay. Now, do you have a check? You say you gave her some money?
Right.
Can I see the check where you gave her some money?
I have the whole thing from the check cashing place.
She give you a check for $300?
No.
I gave her cash because they cashed the check right there in the check cashing office.
When did you give her cash?
The next day, because I couldn't get it that day because the place had already closed. So that next day I went and got it, and I gave it to her as soon as her daughter came home from school. I gave her $300 on the first, and then 2 weeks later gave her $50.
You have a copy of that money?
No, because that was an extra $50 from my paycheck.
Mm-hmm.
I didn't think I'd have to get a receipt from her, but I guess I should have.
All right. Did you get the bill, sir, right away from...
No, I knew nothing of this until September. This happened in March. I just found out about it in September. And that's
How
when
did you find out about it?
My ex-wife finally told me. Finally.
She got the $300. I don't know about the 50, but I know she got the 300 that she didn't tell you about.
Okay.
She figured she was going to stiff you, or that maybe it would just go away. But she got the $300. Still have a balance of $352 that's left, which, Miss Beck, you say was a gift. Is that right?
Yes, because I told
Well,
her.
explain to me why Miss Vargo would make a gift to you of the rest of your bail.
I asked her from the beginning. I said I'd be able to pay you half, but the rest I'm not going to be able to come up with because you know I don't make that much money because she was working with me at the time. She said that's fine. Then she started, like, a month later, she got fired from our work, and that's when she started calling me and bugging me for the money.
You know, it's so difficult when both people are not telling me the truth to have to sort out who's the biggest liar. It's really so hard to figure out who's the biggest liar is. The only one I know who isn't lying is him. Miss Beck, there isn't a reason for Miss Vargo to make you a gift of this money. You have a history, based upon your own statements, of trying to squirrel out of your responsibility. You tried to do it with the court. You tried to do it with her. In any event, I believe that you gave her back $300. You still owe $352. Judgment for the plaintiff. That's all. Goodbye.
Yeah, this is case number 355 on the calendar in the matter of Alligood versus Frazier. Parties have been sworn in. You may be seated. Ma'am, have a seat, please.
Miss Alligood, Mr. Frazier, according to what I read in your complaint, was your former boyfriend.
Yes.
And you have a child together.
Right.
You also lived together for a period of time.
Correct.
And it is your claim that after you decided to separate, you had an agreement with him that he would share all of the child care expenses with you.
Right.
And he did so for a while and then stopped.
Correct.
Now, he has never been adjudicated the father of this child in any court, so you do have an appointment, according to your complaint, in the family court to have an order of support entered.
Correct.
But he has not paid you in some time, and you want him to pay what he promised to pay, which is half the child's expenses.
Correct.
Mr. Frazier says that he tried to do the right thing, that you did have an agreement with him.
Yes, ma'am.
And the agreement was that he would split right down the middle child's expenses. He did do that for a while, but then he says that you stopped letting him see his daughter, and that also was part of the agreement, that he was going to see the child a certain number of days. You stopped letting him visit the days he was supposed to. He stopped paying. When you start letting him visit, he'll start paying.
Yes, ma'am.
And he's counterclaiming because he says that you're angry that he's got a new girlfriend and you've been harassing him.
That's correct.
Go find out. When did you live together, Miss Alligood?
I moved in about July of '02.
And how long did you stay together?
We were off and on for till May of '04.
When was the baby born?
March of '03.
Now let's get to this agreement that you had with regard to support.
Okay.
You do understand, Miss Alligood, that until Mr. Frazier is legally declared the father of this child, he doesn't have any legal responsibility. The only way he does have a legal obligation is if the two of you made a contract.
Okay.
And that contract can be a verbal contract, that after you separated, he would pay half. which according to both of you, he did.
Okay.
The issue is whether you breached the contract by not letting him see his daughter, because that was also, according to both of you, one of the terms of the oral contract. He got to visit, spend a certain amount of time with his daughter, and he was going to pay half of her support. He says you stopped letting him see her. Why did you do that?
Every time I called over there to speak to her, he always had friends over. They were drinking. I didn't want my daughter in that environment. I know when we were together, he was drinking every night, and when I left, he was always drinking.
So, Miss Alligood, when you made this arrangement with him to visit, according to you, when he lived with you, he drank every night.
Right, but when she went over there, I never seen him really drink toward the beginning, and then all of a sudden he started hanging out with his friends again, and he was always drinking, and I didn't like my daughter around that environment.
So now what you're saying is, when he was living with you, he was drinking.
Right.
But then when he left you, he stopped drinking.
No, he wasn't
and then
drinking
he started
as much.
again.
He wasn't drinking as much.
Something doesn't sound right, my dear. When did the new girlfriend come into the picture?
About 2.5 months ago, Your Honor.
And when did the visiting stop?
About 2 months ago, Your Honor.
That's not true.
Yes,
it was only 4 weeks ago. I have proof. It was only about 4 weeks ago.
4 weeks ago was what?
When I found out that he was trying to get full custody of her.
Oh, there you go. And I assume, Miss Alligood, that that is going to be entertained by the court, who is going to be the primary physical caregiver for this child. Is that what's before the family court?
I haven't even went that far yet, Your Honor. The only thing I've did so far, I actually went down and put myself on child support. I done filed the paperwork for it and to put myself on that.
You don't have to show me papers. Did you have an oral contract that provided he would take care of half the child's expenses?
Right.
And he would see the child half the time?
Right.
And you stopped him from seeing the child half the time?
Right.
So he stopped paying support? Mm-hmm. That's it. Now a court's going to have to decide, once there is an order of affiliation, an order of support, and who's going to have custody and who's going to have visitation. He would have continued to pay you, which he had been doing since you separated, if you hadn't terminated his visitation. Can't do that. Now, you want to tell me about the harassment?
Okay, on 6/19/04, I was having a get-together with some friends at my house, and Miss Alligood decided to come to my house, and I told her to leave. She refused to leave. I went back inside. She was outside blowing the horn constantly, just blowing it, blowing it, blowing it. I go out front to tell her to leave.
Where was the baby?
She wasn't with her at the moment. She was left her at somewhere. I don't know where she left her at.
She was with you.
So she kept blowing the horn. I come out there and, would you please leave? That's when she proceeded to ask me who's in the house. I said, it's not your business who's in my house. You don't live here anymore. So then that's when she proceeded to say, oh, is that somebody you're doing? She didn't say it that way. I said, yeah, Nicole, it is. And by then, that's when she opened her door and shoved it against me and hit me in my knee real bad. Then sheriff was sitting in the park across from where we were. Right when she did that, the sheriff comes up, asked what was going on, and I told her. She asked me, do I want to put a trespassing warrant against Nicole? I said, yes, I do. So she wrote her a trespassing warrant. Told her not to come back. Yes, ma'am. And as she had Nicole sign that, Nicole balled it up and threw it on the ground and left.
Why did you go over there on the 19th?
I went to go pick up my child.
I don't believe that. Because if that's the case, then the police would not have indicated that you were not to return to the property. If you've been over there and said, he has my child, he is not legally the father of this child, there's something going on in that house, the sheriff would not have issued you this trespass warning.
I did say that. And the lady told him to go in there and get the baby, get all her stuff, and put her in her car. And Jeff, you can't say that she was over there because she was, and then you scratched me, and then...
That's why I drank, Your Honor.
Judge Judy continues in a moment.
You don't take care of your children, Mr. Frazier, if you're not there to raise them. You have to find some other use for your organ.
And later today...
I turned around and there's Pitbull just charging towards me from about 150 feet away. It was very aggressive, very dominant posture. Quite frankly, I was terrified.
Real cases, real people. Judge Judy. Nicole Alligood says the father of her child, Jeff Frazier, owes for child care expenses. Jeff claims Nicole won't let him see his daughter.
Why did you go over there?
I went over to pick up my
listen to me.
child.
Were you supposed to? Is that what?
Yes.
Shh. What time was it that you went over there?
It was like 8:30, 9 o'clock somewhere.
At night?
Yes.
And why were you going there at 8:30 and 9 o'clock at night to pick up the child?
Because it was my night to have her, It was my night, my weekend, and he wasn't returning her. He wanted her to spend time with his friends, and when I called him to ask him if I can come pick her up, he said, that's fine, whatever, and hung up the phone on me. So I went over there to pick up my child. I pulled up, I beeped the horn for him to bring her out, and he said he's not bringing her out because she's sleeping. Well, why didn't you tell me that over the phone is what I said.
Okay.
And he said, I never told you to come over here. And I was like, that's not what you just told me on the phone. I'm here to pick up my child, now go in and get her.
Just a second. Are you telling me that that was your night to have the child? Or is this something that you decided that you wanted to do because you felt as if he was having a party in his house?
No, it was my night. When we normally switch her, it's in the evening, 7:30, 8 o'clock, 9 o'clock at night, sometimes in the morning on weekends.
What day of the week was this?
A Friday.
Was it supposed to be her weekend?
No, ma'am. She kept calling my house, Your Honor, aggravating me because she knew I had a get-together going on.
Where was the baby?
She was sleeping at the time.
So then you didn't tell me the truth before, sir.
Yeah, I forgot that was truth, that I did have her at my house. I forgot about that, and that's why she came over after I hung up on her, and I told her that she was sleeping. She showed up anyway. She is correct on that, Your Honor.
All right, so incident number 1, that's in her favor. She was supposed to come over. You expected her to come over. Mm-hmm. What's next?
Okay. The following day, after she got the trespassing warrant, I was at the fish store and I was trying to leave. I come outside and she's backed in right behind me, so I can't get out. I'm like, Nicole, please leave. I'm not going to argue with you. Well, why don't you want to talk to me? I don't want to argue, Nicole. So I try backing out. She pulls the truck up forward. So I backed out up on the curb and shot around her truck. As I was going out, she was coming down the main drag and just ran me right up on the curb. I got off the curb, got on the main highway. She was going behind me, coming in front of me, slamming on the brakes so I can hit her. I have a little MR2. She have a Ford Expedition 4x4. Swerving in my lane with my daughter in the car, in the back seat.
What happened, madam?
That's not true, Your Honor. I remember the next day I was with a friend of mine the whole day, and a friend of mine took pictures of my neck where he had scratched me from the night before.
I'm past the night before. I'm at the fish store.
I never went to the fish store.
Do you have a police report?
He did not write a report because she was not there at the time.
What's
she was not
next?
there. That's it.
Okay. Listen, you can't bother him. It's not good for you. It's not good for your daughter. Got to put a period. Got to make peace with him and move on. I'm not making a judgment as to whether or not you followed him on the 20th of June, the day after this incident. You probably did. But I'm certainly not going to make a big deal about it because I don't think it is a big deal. I think what you have to do is you have to stop. He's got a new girlfriend, he's got a new life. He's got, according to you, a whole bunch of other children that he had before he met you, right?
Right.
How many?
There's 4 that's older than mine and 1 that's younger.
So that you knew he had a track record.
I only knew 2.
2 was enough. You still knew he had a track record. When did you find out there were 5?
I found out about the twins right before I got pregnant, and I found out about the one right after we broke up, that he cheated on me and had the next.
Just a second. So you knew about 4 before you got pregnant?
Right, yeah.
You knew about 4. So you knew that this was not somebody who you could count on, because you could be sure that the other women who had these other children, and there were not just one woman, right?
Right.
Right. That they all thought that they were the one and only 2, just like she does.
No, I don't.
That's not my girlfriend, Your Honor.
know.
She's not my girlfriend.
Perfect. She's the only smart one here.
Well, I do take care of my kids, Your Honor.
You don't take care of your children, Mr. Frazier, if you're not there to raise them.
Well, I try to see them, but they don't let me see them.
Mr. Frazier, you don't take care of your children if you're not there to raise them. You don't seed like you're a bee. You pollinate flowers and then move on. That's not being a father.
Yeah,
Do I make myself clear, sir? You have to find some other use for your organ. Your counterclaim, Mr. Frazier, is dismissed.
No problem.
That's all.
Parties are excused. You may step out.
The upsetting part that I can't see my daughter when I want to like it used to be.
He's not going to have a relationship with his daughter because he's going to choose not to.
What the future holds now, I don't know.
I actually would like to have a kind of open relationship to where if he wants his child, he can come get her, but I don't think it's going to happen.
And now the next case.
All parties in the matter of Dinatelli versus Simonson, step forward, please.
Engineer J. Dinatelli is suing fellow dog owners, 23-year-old Jessica Simonson and her father, Eric Simonson, for injuries to his hand and legs. Jay says he suffered leash burns when Jessica's pit bull attacked his dogs.
Husband and wife?
Father-daughter.
Father-daughter. Never can tell. It's Hollywood. Whose dog is it?
He was mine.
What kind of dog was he?
Staffordshire Terrier.
That's pit bull.
Yes, ma'am.
And how long did you have him?
2 years.
Where is he now?
I'm assuming he was given to another home after I released him to the SPCA when I had to move and get rid of him.
You had to move from where to where?
From the house I was living in into a different house, which did not allow me to keep him.
So you don't know where he is?
Correct.
How old are you?
23.
What's your father doing here?
He's property owner where the incident happened.
Okay. So you're walking your dogs on a leash.
Yes, Your Honor.
And out from nowhere comes a pit bull.
Yes, Your Honor.
Yeah. You were injured. You want to tell me how that happened?
Sure. As you know, I was walking my dogs on the levee, and suddenly my dogs alerted to something in back of me. I turned around, and there's a pit bull just charging towards me from about 150 feet away. It was very aggressive. It ran straight up to my dogs, tail straight in the air, very dominant posture, and quite frankly, I was terrified. I yelled at the dog to go home, paid no attention to me. About a minute later, I saw Miss Simonson emerge. She yelled something at her dog. The dog paid no attention to her. I yelled at her to control your dog, and at that point, she strolled towards us, which I found kind of amazing that she wasn't sprinting down the levee. She grabbed for the dog on 2 or 3 different occasions, and every time she reached down to grab her dog, it would scoot away, and in the scuffle, the leashes got wrapped around me, and that's how I got my injuries.
Tell me about your injuries.
The injuries were both to my hand and to both of my legs. They were burn-type injuries produced by the retractable leash. I've got photos of them if you'd like.
I'd like to see them.
I was wearing walking shorts at the time, so both of my legs were bare. The worst injury was the injury to my pinky finger, but they were all pretty bad injuries. It caused me a lot of pain for a week, and the injury to my hand took a full month to heal. I have a permanent scar right now.
Can I see it, please? Step up. I see it.
There.
Right here.
Yes.
Okay. Thank you. Frightening, scary, but you don't do hand commercials. Right?
I'm a professor, so I lecture for a living, but no, I don't do hand commercials.
Okay.
You're right.
One of the other things I was interested in is that you indicate that when you made an investigation, you discovered that this was not the first complaint of this dog being out unattended.
That's correct, Your Honor.
You have any proof of that, sir?
Yes, I do.
When did this incident happen?
January 3rd of 2003, and those complaint reports show that there were 4 formal complaints filed against this dog and this owner within the previous 18 months.
Did you know that there had been prior violations filed, that the dog was out?
No, ma'am, I was not aware
But you
of that.
did?
I was not aware of 4 of them, no.
How many were you aware of?
2?
2's enough. This dog hurt somebody else in the same kind of circumstances. White pit bull jumped the fence this morning. The complainant fell back and injured back trying to keep the dogs apart.
I was in LA at the time.
Who cares where you were? All right, I'll hear you.
My version of what happened was I let my dog out to go to the bathroom.
What do you mean you let your dog out to go to the bathroom?
I opened the sliding glass door to let him out into the backyard.
How many violations had you had at that time? 2, according to you?
That I'm aware of, yes.
I don't care what your version is. You just answered your own question. You just resolved this lawsuit. This lawsuit says that you were negligent, careless, and as a result of that, he was injured. Don't you get it? You knew you had a dog that twice caused other people to call and register complaints, and instead of putting your pants on and putting the dog on a leash, you opened the door and let him out.
I was out there with him.
Who cares? Do you get it, Mr. Simonson?
Yes, ma'am, I do.
Good, I'm glad you both get it.
However, I disagree that the dog is potentially vicious. This dog is
I don't care what you believe. The dog caused injury to him. Don't be a fool. The dog was not within the control of his owner.
I agree with that, Your Honor.
Perfect. I don't know whether or not your injuries are worth $5,000, which is what you're suing for, but their stupidity is worth $5,000. And the lesson to be learned is worth $5,000, that when you have a dog that is capable of causing serious physical injury or death, you don't open the door and let the dog out to go to the bathroom alone. Do I make myself clear?
Yes, ma'am.
Perfect. Judgment for the plaintiff in the amount of $5,000. That's all.
Thank you, Your Honor.
Parties are excused. You may stand. Yes, this is case number 396 on the calendar in the matter of Bolden versus Maker. Parties have been sworn in, Judge. You may be seated. Ma'am, have a seat, please.
Mr. Bolden, the defendant was your girlfriend at one time.
Yes.
About 9 years ago.
Yes.
And you have a child together, a boy. You have been legally declared the father of that child. Is that
Yes.
right? In a court.
Yes.
You had taken a paternity test when he was born. And the paternity test established that you are, in fact, the child's father.
Right.
Recently, you began to have certain reservations about that because you say he doesn't look like you.
Right.
So you wanted to have another paternity test.
Yes.
According to you, Ms. Maker agreed to take another paternity test. You made the arrangements and she didn't show up, so you want to be reimbursed for the test. Ms. Maker said, I never agreed to take another paternity test. My son is 9 years old. He doesn't have a relationship with his father. His father is really losing out. She doesn't have to be told twice that you're the child's father. You are his father. That's what the case is about. You want the money back that you put down for the paternity test, for the second test, which is $630. So before we move on, Mr. Bolden, who is this?
That's my girlfriend.
What possible information could she have with regard to this case?
Well, she's just here to back me up, saying that, I have papers right here saying where she signed to take this paternity test.
So what evidence?
She's just here with me really for support.
That's very stupid on your part to bring her here for no reason. I'm just telling you. It's just, she's just an irritant.
Well, I'm here.
Mr. Bolden. So let's move back. Can I see the results of the first paternity test that you took? The bloods were drawn on both of you on the same date. Were you present together when the bloods were drawn?
Yes.
And the child's blood was taken the same time?
Yes.
And according to this paternity test, sir, there is a 99.85 probability that you are the father of this child.
Your Honor, where we're from, I mean, I've been hearing reports that, I mean, it's been tampering with tests, so I figured I'd take another chance with it.
But you waited 8 years.
Just a second.
8 years.
The defendant, she didn't tell me she was pregnant until she was 8 months along.
You're lying.
No.
Listen to me. I don't want to hear that.
Well, he's telling a lie.
Listen to me. Listen to me, Mr. Bolden. You may, and I assume that you don't have a relationship with this boy. Is that right?
No, he doesn't.
No. That's why I want to get this all out in the open.
Oh, just a second. It's all out in the open, sir. You have an order of filiation and you have an order of support. And you have a blood test that was done by a laboratory that the courts in your jurisdiction has deemed an appropriate facility for taking and drawing blood. 99.85. I suggest, sir, that you have to move on. You're going to pay support for this boy until he is 18 years old. And if you choose not to have a relationship with him, that's your loss and his loss. Now, when did she agree to take another test?
March the 19th is the day she signed the paper.
Let me see. Tell me about the conversation you had with her.
Well, it was pretty brief. I went to her residence and told her I didn't think the child was mine.
What made you think 8.5 years later, what woke up and, you know, you got this bee in your bonnet 8.5 years later that the child wasn't yours? What happened?
I mean, I always had my doubts.
But what was it 8.5 years later?
I mean, the child doesn't look like me. Not at all.
Does it look like his mother?
Doesn't even look like her.
Just a second. Doesn't look like the mother either.
Sick.
No.
You're being foolish, Mr. Bolden. Okay, so let me just understand. You went over there to her and you said to her, he doesn't look like me. I don't think he's mine. I want to take another blood test.
Right.
And she said, okay.
Yes.
Why would she agree 8.5 years later to take this test?
Maybe she was sure, you know, he was mine.
No. Why would she agree to take the test? That's something that just doesn't make sense to me.
Exactly.
What makes sense to me is that she would be angry with you, that she would feel as if you have shortchanged this boy by not participating in his life for 8.5 years, that while she gets child support from you, she would have preferred a little bit more support in other areas, emotional support with the boy, which you haven't given her. So you want me to believe that you went over there and said, listen, I want to take another blood test, so I not only cut off all emotional support, which I haven't given you, but I'm going to cut off financial support too, if he's not mine. So I want you to sign this piece of paper, and she just went and signed the piece of paper. Is that what you want me to believe?
First we went to the family court. I filed a petition.
Oh, okay. So first you went for the family court, and and what happened?
They denied me. The judge said...
Oh, just a second. So you went to the family court, and you filed a petition that said, I really want another blood test because I don't think he's mine because he doesn't look like me.
Right.
And you brought her to court.
Yes.
When he served you with the papers to go to family court.
And they sent me the notice of when the date was, and it was on March 2nd.
Okay. Were you surprised to get it?
Yes.
Were you annoyed?
Yeah, because I've been getting a lot of papers from him about crazy stuff.
Judge Judy continues in a moment.
You are frustrated and annoyed with him, right?
Yes.
You picked him. He can't help being stupid. You had a choice.
And later today...
When did this incident happen with your dad?
May 18th. He told me to step outside and ask for the razor. Then he slapped me in the face twice, put the razor to my face, and that's when I jerked away from him and started running.
Real cases, real people. Judge Judy. Cardell Bolden claims ex-girlfriend Lisa Maker owes for a DNA test that never happened.
Cardell says he arranged the test because Lisa's son looks nothing like him.
Did you sign this piece of paper?
Yes, because when we went to court that morning and we was leaving out of court and he says, Lisa, can we get more tests done? I says, no, I'm done with it. I said, I'm not doing anything. The only thing I need from you now is his insurance papers because he do pay medical insurance for him through his job. A couple days later, he comes to the house. Comes in, my son is in there. He never speaks, never says one word to my son, which he does it all the time, because he says that my son is not his. We had the test. I'm like, oh, well, if you want to sit up there and miss out, that's on you. I'm not worried about it. He says, here's the papers. I signed. I said, get out, because it didn't make sense for a grown man to walk in my house, not speak to that child or anything. He left. Lab court calls me.
So what you're telling me is you thought that these papers had to do with your son's medical insurance.
Because my son does not get Medicaid through the state. So when he leaves, lab court calls me. I told the lady, I said, look, I don't have to go take no test. The state says I don't. I ain't going to do it. Goodbye. Don't call my house no more. Hung up.
She knew what those papers were, Your Honor.
Why would I sit there and
right
sign?
there, and we both read through them.
Listen to me. Don't answer. You're always supposed to read what you sign.
But how, I mean, my son is right in the house. This man walks in the house and not even speak to my son.
It's obnoxious. It's obnoxious.
Crazy.
It's obnoxious and stupid.
It is.
It's a product of a stupid mind, an uncaring mind. It's a product of somebody who says that it's the fault of a 9-year-old child to be born.
Yeah.
Why didn't you speak to him?
That's all irrelevant, Your Honor.
Why didn't you speak to him?
I didn't even see her son was not present. When I came in.
Right there.
Her cousin was there. Her son was not there.
He was in the house.
Just a second. Just a second. Have you ever spoken to him?
Yes.
What have you said to him?
Hey, how you doing?
I mean, I speak to him.
He doesn't know who his dad is, so he's making my son the same way he is. But it's all going to change.
Why not take the test?
I don't have to take anything.
Goodbye.
I don't have to take.
Listen to me. You're in a court. I don't know where you think you are. So far, you're not losing, but you're irritating me. You are frustrated and annoyed with him, right?
Yes.
You picked him. You picked him to father your child. He can't help being stupid. You had a choice. You picked him. So I would suggest you keep your mouth shut. Right? Good. Your case is dismissed, sir. You don't wish to have a relationship with this child. That's your prerogative. You will support him until he's a majority. That's all.
You got excused. Step out.
Good.
My son has a lot of positive men in his life. If he doesn't want to step up to the plate, he ain't got to.
And now the next case.
All parties in the matter of Young versus McIntyre step forward.
19-year-old student Quentin Young is suing his father, truck driver Robert McIntyre, for medical bills due to an assault. Quentin claims his father held a razor to his neck and slapped him twice.
Quentin, this is your dad.
Right.
And it is your complaint that last year he assaulted you.
Yes, ma'am.
And you had some medical bills.
Yes, ma'am.
That he had promised to pay.
Yes, ma'am.
He didn't. You want him to pay the medical bills.
Right.
His father says that you were acting disrespectfully.
Right.
He slapped you.
Yes, ma'am.
And that's it.
And put a razor to my face after he slapped me.
Just a second.
Okay.
That's what he says.
Okay.
Your parents are divorced?
Yes, ma'am.
How long are they divorced?
Ever since I was 4 and I'm 20 now.
Who's this lady?
My mom.
She remarried?
Yes, ma'am.
Is your father remarried?
Many times, ma'am.
No, ma'am.
When did this incident happen with your dad?
May 18th of 2003.
And you were living with your mom?
Yes, ma'am.
Where did it happen?
It happened in the Oak Cliff area in Dallas, Texas, at his friend's house.
What were you doing at his friend's house?
We were supposed to take pictures that day. It was me, my father, my younger brother, and my other younger brother. My brother's right there.
Tell me what happened.
What happened was we went over to his friend's house. He had 4 outfits for all of us, which was me, my brother, my father, and my other little brother. I started to tear off the logo sign of the Dickies.
He was trying to cut it off, man.
Well,
with a razor blade.
I love the arts, and I like to make my own style of clothing. And he
should have bought his own.
Okay, so he bought 4 outfits.
Right, right.
So everybody would be dressed the same way.
Right, but he didn't buy them.
Where did he get them?
Well, my brother later told me that he stole them off his truck.
What kind of truck?
18-wheeler truck, but he stole and he works, you know, so that's what he did.
So you're taking the Dickie label off the pants.
Yes, ma'am.
And then what happened?
He told me to step outside and ask for the razor. Then he slapped me in the face twice and put the razor to my face, and that's when I jerked away from him and started running.
Well, did the razor cut you?
It
either cut you or it didn't.
It didn't cut me.
Okay, put your hand down. So he slapped you twice?
Yes, ma'am.
Well, you weren't injured from his slapping you, were you?
Oh, yes, ma'am.
Well, tell me about your injury.
Well, I went to the hospital and they said...
Why?
Because I was hurt, Your Honor.
Let me see the hospital report, please.
Okay.
Well, this is just a bill. I want to see the report.
I don't have the report. They're supposed to give them to me. They didn't give them to me in time.
Who took you to the hospital?
My mother drove me.
Step up.
Thank you, Your Honor.
All right, your son left and he called you, I assume after his father slapped him twice in the face. Where were you when he called you?
I was at home.
And you got in your car and you went and picked him up?
Yes, I did. And his face was swollen, and he had a cut on his face.
Where?
It was right...
I don't see anything about blood here.
Well, see, that's what I'm saying. It wasn't like a big gash, but it was a small amount of blood.
I don't listen to me. I don't see anything about blood here. I don't see anything about stitches here. I don't see anything about anything here. Why did you put your hands on him?
You know, Quentin had this attitude that, you know, he was just getting belligerent, you know, like coming around, you know, like smarting off and all that. The way
What did he say to you?
I asked him what was he doing. He said, you gave him to me, didn't you? So by him being in front of my other kids, let's go outside. You know, I'm not gonna.
Hey!
See what I mean?
Go ahead.
When he goes outside, he like backs up and balls his hands up, and I'm like, Quentin, you know, I grabbed him around the neck. Then he acted like, you know, raised one of his hands up, and that's when I slapped him. Because he's in front of my other kids, and I'm not having it. Where I was raised at, ma'am, respect.
You're absolutely right. You should respect your parents, and your parents shouldn't put their hands on you, especially if you're a grown-up. You don't put your hands on them.
I understand.
It's not a smart thing to do. You also don't overreact and take him to the hospital because he got slapped in the face. What?
All right, does it say in the report, of his report, that I balled up my fist to...
I don't care whether you did. I just told him he had no right to hit you.
Okay, okay.
I just told him he had no right to hit you. Shouldn't hit his child, especially a grown-up child.
That's right.
And if you did, you felt as if he disrespected you, and he didn't treat you in a fatherly way, and he didn't respect your art, and he didn't respect your individuality, and he didn't respect all that other thing. That's a lot of bull. He got 4 outfits to take a picture. You didn't like the outfit, suck it up, take the picture, and go home to your mama.
I was feeling the same way.
You understand?
I was feeling the same way, but he slapped me for it.
Then what'd you go outside and start cutting up the outfit for?
No, I was cutting it up on the inside.
In front of me, Your Honor.
Okay, in front of you.
Why didn't you wait until you got home?
That's what I asked.
We were taking pictures that day, Your Honor. So.
Why didn't you wait until you got home?
But why would I...
Your Honor, he's just wanted to show his dad. He's been away for many years.
Don't speak.
He's been away for many years, and my son, I have remarried, and my son just was reaching out. He yearned to be with his dad. I okayed many trips for him to go with him on the U-Haul truck. But when he got with him, he betrayed him by fighting him. He knows that he's in theater. He knows that his aspirations is to get into entertainment business, but he disrespected his own son. I'm okay. I'm okay. He disrespected his own son.
Listen to me. His son disrespected him.
He loves his son. He loves his dad to death.
Listen, that's why you're not paying attention. That moment, that day, your son was disrespectful for the moment. And I told his father he had no right to put his hands on him. He had no right to overreact. And neither does he. He wants to be an actor. Great. It doesn't mean you have to be abnormal.
But he didn't want to
Listen to me.
disrespect him.
Listen to me.
That's not what he wanted,
Get
Judge.
over it, madam. It's not a big deal in the scheme of things. It's not a big deal to take a picture with your father with an outfit that has a Dickie label on it or any label on it. It's not a big deal.
Away from the picture. The logo is small. It won't take away from the picture.
I got it for him, y'all.
Listen to me.
You stole it.
Speak quiet. Speak.
You got it.
Mr. McIntyre, shh. Don't speak. Don't speak.
Yes, ma'am.
All very unfortunate. And it's certainly very unfortunate that you overreacted and took him to a hospital and built up this medical bill that was ridiculous. You should have taken him home and put a cold rag on his head. In any event, I think you both behaved badly that day. I think you did. And I think if you encourage your son to think that he did the right thing, that's a big mistake.
I'm not, Your Honor.
Well, you shouldn't.
I wouldn't do
Well,
that.
you shouldn't. And if his father hasn't been much of a father to him over the last, I don't know, 20 years, 15 years, whatever it is, you're not going to make up for it in one picture, sir.
Exactly.
There's a lot of history that goes on.
Yes, ma'am.
But one thing that you don't do, especially with a child who you haven't been around and haven't been a father to his whole life, you don't put your hands on him.
Exactly.
You got it?
Yes, ma'am.
So you owe him an apology for that. You owe him an apology for that. That's all. Case is dismissed. That's all.
Parties are excused. You may step out.
He's treating me.
Spring versus Whitford.
Thanks, Bert.
Parties have been sworn in, Judge. You may be seated.
Miss Spring, you and the defendant were working together on a construction project. You're both electricians. And it is your claim, Miss Spring, that the defendant assaulted you.
Yes.
He says he never touched you. So let me hear. When did you start working on this site, and what caused the problem between the two of you?
February 12th. I did the job. It was the end of the day, picked up my tools, and was walking back towards the gang box, where it's a central area where we put all our tools and contractors' tools to put away for the end of the day. And I get to the gang box area, and he is having a fit because he can't find a power cord to plug in his lift, which takes you up higher or lower on the job. And he's just going on and on because he can't find this cord. And I had it over with my things. I just didn't have, I had too much stuff already. I didn't have room for that too, so I was going to go back and get the cord. He's just going on and on about how he can't find the cord, and finally I said to him, you know what, I have the cord, just relax, I'll go get it. And he just exploded even more, saying profanities and don't you know what you're doing on this job site. And I told him at that time I walked around the gang box, and back of the doors were open, and he followed me.
What did you walk around this box for?
Because I had a coat. This is kind of a diagram that I wrote for you to kind of look better there as far as what I'm talking about. I had to get my jacket, and it was on a cart on the other side of the game box, and he followed me. The argument continued as he followed me around. I reached underneath to get my coat, and as I came back up to face him, he grabbed me by the neck with both hands and pushed me like a jerking motion really hard into some boxes that were behind me. I was in shock when this happened. It happened so fast. I pushed him off me, and he backed up like this, and then he started coming at me again, and then I heard the voice of the foreman saying, come on, you guys, let's get out of here. Knock that off. Quit arguing. Let's go. And I looked at him like, didn't you just see what happened? This man just touched me. And I couldn't speak because he knocked the wind out of me. He was gone. He left. When the foreman said that, he left. He was out the door. It took me a while to get myself together to be able to say to him that he just put his hands on me. He just choked me. Aren't you going to do something? When the foreman heard that, then he went to where he was and talked to him. I don't know what was said. Then the foreman came back. He drove off, and he told me, well, there's nothing I can do. He said he's not going to apologize, and there's nothing I can do. When I got home, I called my union official. He said that he would be on the job the following day, and then he told me to call the police, and that's what I did.
Can I see the report that you filed?
Yes.
Do you have all 6 pages, Your Honor?
I don't have all 6 pages. I don't have 6 pages.
I have a complete report over here if you need it.
I'd like to see it. Okay, so you filed a police report, and then what happened?
That day, the union officials came out. They also took a report and walked around and talked to people. Then I filled out the paperwork to go see the doctor for workman's comp, and that's where I went.
What did you need workman's comp for?
I had severe strain to my neck and shoulder. There's all my doctor's records.
I'd like to see the doctor's records.
He put me on limited duty, so when I went back to work to give the doctor my foreman, he said there's no such thing as limited duty. There's a form all the way in the back, a pink form about this big, that describes our job description and that there is no limited duty. So then he gave me a quit.
He gave you a what?
A quit instead of a reduction of workforce.
I mean, he fired you.
Excuse me? Yes.
He fired you.
yes, because he had a choice to make whether he stay or I stay, and I was the one that was told to go.
What happened with the case with the district attorney's office? I assume you filed, the case was dismissed for lack of evidence.
Exactly.
It was not prosecuted for lack of evidence.
Right.
Did you go before any other boards?
The union. I filed a grievance with the union.
And what happened with that grievance?
They sent me a letter that said no decision. They didn't make a decision one way or the other. And I have all the transcripts right here. I don't have a witness, but at the grievance, they did find somebody that heard us arguing and heard boxes being jostled around, and his statement is where I tagged in here, and that's what I have as far as a witness. It starts with the first yellow paper.
I have a letter in addition to that, Your Honor.
All right, sir. Let me hear your version of these events, please.
My story is basically the same. We did get into a verbal confrontation, but I did not touch her. Now, on the police report, on the top, the disposition...
Don't tell me. Please, first I asked you what happened. Then you'll point me in the direction of evidence that you want me to look at. I asked you what happened.
I will agree with everything except for the fact that I did touch her, and I did not touch her. I did get in her face, and yes, we did have a verbal confrontation.
What about boxes being sort of shuffled around?
No boxes were shuffled around whatsoever, Your Honor.
No, the witness here seems to say that there was some boxes shuffled around, although the witness didn't see what happened back there.
As I recall, at the time the officer took the reports, he did not note it in his police report, and he talked to everybody on the job site. When he came back to interview me, he asked the foreman if anybody else had any additional information, and they did not add that to the police report.
I don't know whether you put your hands around her neck, sir, because she gives conflicting stories about that. First you say, in the initial report that you gave to the police, and this is in your report, Spring said her comment to Whitford made him angry. He grabbed her around the collar of her sweatshirt, near the neck area, and then shoved her into a nearby stack of boxes. Now that somehow escalated from grabbing her around the collar of her sweatshirt to having put his hands around your throat, because that's what you said some 45 minutes later. That he put his hands around your throat.
I had a hooded sweatshirt on. That was what was around my neck. He didn't take the collar and pull it. He had his hands around my sweatshirt and my throat.
How long have you been a member of this union?
17 years.
How many complaints have you filed?
As far as?
As far as any job-related action.
Oh, yeah. I had worked for another contractor probably 4 years prior. And I had it, well, they let me go because they said that I wasn't getting along with other workers.
No. How many times have you filed either a grievance or attempted to apply for workman's compensation?
Workman's comp?
Yes.
Yes, I've had a back injury earlier to this, about 4 years earlier to this, and a wrist injury also.
Real cases, real people. Judge Judy. Electrician Jordana Spring says she was assaulted on the job by fellow electrician Peter Whitford. Jordana claims during an argument, Peter choked her.
Now, the one that happened 4 years ago, is that about the same time that you had a problem at another job site? You said it was about 4 years ago.
Right. No, the incident that I was referring to was before the Coliseum incident, the wrist in the back.
What was the Coliseum incident?
The wrist in the back.
That was at the same time?
Yes.
Well, you said one happened 4 years ago and one happened 2 years ago.
No. The first injury that I filed a workman's comp for was my neck and my shoulder and my wrist, and that happened on the Coliseum job. And the incident I was telling to you prior to this happened on the BART job, where I was let go because of controversy, working with people.
And when was that?
6 years ago.
6 years?
Yeah.
Did you receive any compensation from your union with regard to this incident?
This one, no.
What about with regard to neck, shoulder, and wrist 4 years ago?
Yes.
What?
$100 a month, and with taxes it comes out to like $96 a month.
Now, you said you had something else you wanted to show me, Mr. Whitford.
Yes, Your Honor. Here's the primary treating physician's progress report.
Can I see it, please?
In the yellow and the highlight, you will note that it says it's dated the 13th, and you'll note that the change in treatment plan is circled.
Yes.
That means that you have a pre-existing condition.
Yes.
And then under the treatment plan, have there been any changes in treatment plan? If so, why? That's not answered because she was under treatment at the particular time.
Anything else you want to show me?
Here's a letter from the union.
I don't read letters.
Okay. This is attached to the hearing. This are the results of the hearing.
Oh, that's the result of the hearing. I'll read it.
Okay. And that letter shows that no action was taken. And then I have a second statement that was also attached to the hearing notes.
It says no decision or action could be taken at this time.
Right, they dropped it.
Go ahead.
And then also on the police report, if you'll note, they wrote the disposition on top. That it was T2'd, whatever that means. That means...
But they're not prosecuting it.
Right.
There's insufficient evidence.
Right. That's
What
exactly
else?
what they did with it. And I tried to get the other sheets, but they sit there and keep in the computer for only 3 months, and then they purge the computer, I guess.
What else?
And then attached to the union filing, also, which is part of this, we have another story here, the second story, where this one says I now lunged at her, grabbed her by
see it, please?
grabbing her with both hands, and I pushed her into a stack of boxes behind her. You know, a little more melodramatic, so the story seems to keep escalating as we go.
What else?
Now, regarding the incident, I sat there and walked away primarily because I did not want the argument to escalate into a physical confrontation.
You didn't go to work the next day, sir. You want to explain to me why?
I called in because I was afraid it would escalate into a physical confrontation.
Why?
And I don't cross that line.
Why?
My mother is a judge, and I've been taught you don't cross that line.
Well, you had an employer, you had a supervisor, you had somebody else there who you could have said very easily to, listen, I don't want to go anywhere near her. Did you report to work the next day?
I did, yes.
Okay. I don't want to go anywhere near her. Right?
Exactly. I didn't want to take a chance of anything escalating. I did not want to be around her just in case something could happen, in case she could pull those strings, if you know what I mean.
Mr.
And,
Whitford,
yes,
I want to explain something to you, sir. You and I both know that you put your hands on her. There isn't a question in my mind that you put your hands on her, sir. I don't think that you injured her. That's where I think your problem is, madam. I don't think that you were injured. I think that you were offended that he put his hands on you. You probably opened up a fresh mouth to him. He opened up a fresh mouth to you, and the fight was on. And he was probably treating you like he would treat some guy, which is he grabbed you by the sweatshirt, and you pushed him, and he pushed you. Ordinarily, it would be gone. It would be over. You really weren't hurt, but he didn't say sorry. So, Mr. Whitford,
yes,
don't try to razzle-dazzle me with I didn't put my hands on her, sir. You and I both know you didn't. Even one of your cohorts said in the transcript, I didn't see what happened. I couldn't see anything that happened, but I know that they were behind the tool shed, and I heard a scuffle, and I heard arguing, and then I heard something like something going into boxes. That's from somebody that works with you.
Yes.
He didn't get fired. So he had no reason to make up a story about hearing somebody get pushed into boxes. And that's what you did. You pushed her into boxes. I don't, however, believe you, Miss Spring, when you say you were injured. Injured to the extent that you could not work. Do you understand me? Okay.
Our job is not the same. It's a lot more physical than a lot of other jobs. That's
You
why
weren't hurt. He grabbed you by the sweatshirt collar and he pushed you into some boxes. The boxes raffled. You got up, you pushed him back, and then the foreman came over, and said, what's going on here? And you both backed off. Foreman had some words with him and said, listen, why don't you, there's a problem. Why don't you just take off? But he's not allowed to put his hands on you. That's the bottom line. And I don't know why they couldn't come to this conclusion when they had all kinds of hearings. I know why the district attorney chose not to pursue this case. The district attorney chose not to pursue this case because you weren't hurt. And the union, I don't know why the union couldn't come to a conclusion. It was so easy for me in these few short moments. Judgment for the plaintiff in the amount of $500. That's all. Don't put your hands on her.
Parties are excused. You may step out.
Well, I guess the moral of the story is if you tell your story enough times, finally, eventually you're going to find somebody who believes it.
I'm really happy the way things turned out, and I'm glad that Judy heard me.
I'm tired. I'm glad it's over. I get to move on now, finally.
And now the next case.
All parties in the matter of Gretsch versus Gerrits. Step forward, please.
50-year-old store manager Deborah Gretsch is suing her son, 26-year-old construction worker Troy Gerrits, for an unpaid loan. Troy says the loan should be offset because his 18-year-old brother ran up his cable bill by renting movies.
And I believe that there are certain things that we can agree upon in this case, so it will simplify the issue. Mrs. Gretsch, the defendant is your son.
Yes.
Who is 26 years old?
Yes.
According to your complaint, there came a time when he fell behind in some bills, he wanted to consolidate his bills, and you agreed to loan him $6,000, $6,000 some odd dollars. And you acknowledged that that loan was made to you.
Yes.
He did repay some of the loan for a considerable period of time. The balance on the loan is some $4,400.
Right.
And you acknowledge that the balance of the loan is some $4,400. Is that right?
Yes.
But you have a defense.
Yes.
Your defense is that your brother, your other son, 17, moved in with you
Yes.
and ran up a huge cable bill,
Yes.
the amount of $3,500,
Yes.
that you believe is your mother's responsibility, that you want to deduct from the loan.
Yes.
Okay, that's your defense. Now, was your 17-year-old living with you before he moved in with his brother?
Yes, but he moved in with his brother and his dad.
His brother and his father? Mm-hmm. Do you live with your father?
Not no more.
But you did?
Yep, and my grandparents.
And when did he move in with you?
1999. I don't know quite which month it was.
January.
And when did he start running up this cable bill?
As soon as he moved in.
How do you know that?
Well, he's the only one that was in the room renting the movies.
So he was renting the movies from...
Pay-per-view.
Pay-per-view.
Pay-per-view movies.
Is that right?
Yes.
Who got the first bill?
I get all the bills.
So when you got your February bill and you saw all these bills on there, what did you do about it?
Put a lock code on it. He figured that out, so I disconnected it from the phone. And then the bills don't come, not unless it's hooked up to the phone. Once I hook the phone up, I get this large amount of bill. For
just a minute. He could not have run up a $3,500 cable bill in 1 month.
No, it wasn't. It was over a year and a half, I believe.
Well, then that's your responsibility. That's your responsibility.
For me to pay for him?
He's living under your control in your home. You say you got all the bills, so you were in control of all the bills, Mr. Gerads.
Yes.
It was your responsibility to see to it that an appropriate mechanism was put in place so that he could not rent any more of these movies after you saw that he was abusing the privilege after the first month.
I'll let him explain what he did through all this, renting the movies and everything, that I feel that she should have to pay me because he was a minor. No matter what, if he was, if he was living with her or not.
Just a minute, when did your father move out?
My father never moved out.
So what about your father?
He doesn't have a job, no nothing. So, what am I supposed to do, support him too?
No, sir. What you're supposed to do is if you can't get your brother to stop renting pay-per-views that you are responsible for, you kick him out of the house.
He wasn't 18.
So, you're not responsible for him, sir, to keep him in your house? Kick him out.
How would you feel about kicking your own son out at 15, 16 years old?
Just a minute. He's not your son. Kick him out.
He's my brother, though.
Then pay his bills. If you can't figure out a way to control him, pay his bills. Don't say, I'm not going to pay his bills. I'm going to pay this, and I'm going to deduct it from what I owe my mother. What kind of stupidity is that?
To get the money out of her.
No. You elected to take your brother into your house. Evidently, he chose not to live with his mother. He chose to live in your house with your unemployed father.
I do not own the house. He moved in with my father and my grandparents, and I was living there, and he was living there with them.
But evidently, the cable bill was in your name.
Okay, the cable bill's in my name,
Then
but
you
who
have
should
to
take care of it?
Just a second. Cut it off.
I did cut it off finally after I got that bill that had the large amount on it.
You should have cut it off immediately when you saw he was doing it. Immediately. That was your responsibility. It was wrong. He's a minor. But as a result of your negligence and not seeing to it that his conduct was monitored while in your home, you can't visit that on your mother. Judgment for the plaintiff in the amount of $4,400. That's all.
Parties are excused. You may step out.
He's a minor.
Number 486 on the calendar in the matter of Metzger versus Metzger. Parties have been sworn in, Judge. You may be seated. Ladies, have seats, please.
I want to tell you something. All those papers frighten me. But from what I read in your complaint, this is not an unusual situation. Mr. Metzger, you and the defendant have been divorced since when?
This year.
And how long have you been separated?
Almost 3 years.
How long were you married?
Well, we've known each other for 18 years. We didn't marry right away. I'd say about 15.
And you have 2 girls?
Yes, ma'am.
2 daughters. How old are the girls?
One's 17 and the other one's 10.
And according to your complaint, your 17-year-old daughter lives with you?
Yes, ma'am.
And the 10-year-old child lives with Mrs. Metzger. How long has your 17-year-old been living with you?
3 years, a little over 3 years.
Since she was 14, is that when you moved in with your dad? Is that right?
Yes.
Do you want to be here?
Yes.
Or would you prefer to be outside?
I'd prefer to stay in here, please.
Okay. This lawsuit says, Mr. Metzger, that your wife, your former wife now, has embarked on a campaign of harassment by having you arrested on various charges. All the charges were subsequently dismissed against you, and you want to be reimbursed for not only this harassment, but for the attorney's fees that you've been caused to pay, lost time, etc. Okay. When was the last time, not the first time, but the last time you were arrested as a result of a complaint by your former wife?
The 8th of 8/28/99.
That was the last time?
Yes, ma'am.
Would you tell me why you waited 2 years to pursue this?
The only reason I waited 2 years to pursue it is because Mrs. Metzger keeps taking me to court and suing me in different courts, and she's getting dismissed on all of them. They're not coming up with evidence.
No, I understand that, but if the last instance where she had you arrested was 2 years ago,
right.
My question is,
Right.
why have you waited 2 years to pursue this civil remedy?
Your Honor, I wasn't even going to pursue it. I was just going to let it go because she was my ex-wife. But the harassment still continues from also her mother.
How?
Phone calls, threatening phone calls, police reports that she's making up that are completely false, that the police don't even come and talk to me anymore because they know it.
By her or by her mother?
Both.
Well, when was the last time your former wife made a police report?
Well, every time I turn around, there's a visitation order with my youngest daughter. When I don't show up, she says I don't show up, which I always show up. She makes an incident report. And when you been through what I've been through in 3 or 4 years, this is not only a 3-year-old case, this is actually a 5-year-old case because I divorced her one time before. This has continued for 5 years, and I've got to the point now that I'm tired of it.
What's been happening in the last 6 months?
I have a communication order, court order, that I'm supposed to communicate with my youngest daughter from Tuesdays and Thursdays from 7 to 8. When we call to talk to my daughter, my youngest daughter tells me, Mom unplugs the phone so I cannot talk to her. So I had asked my daughter, when the next time I'm supposed to call you, baby, do me a favor and go check the plug and tell me if it's just hanging out the wall. My daughter comes to me and tells me, Daddy, that's exactly what Mommy's doing. Now, my daughter has the right to communicate with me too and call me. I asked my daughter, why do you not call me? Mommy will not let me call you. She refuses to let me call. Now, the judge has just came down on her 2 weeks ago on this incident because he understood it too and seen it and told her that.
Do you have the last court order? Let me see the last series of court orders.
I don't have it with me because we just got out of court and I haven't got it sent to me yet.
Your Honor, this is from November 13th of '98, and I have the most recent one here.
I'd like to see the most
recent. Which was just sent to me from my attorney.
Let me see it, please.
Just a moment. Let me...
I'll take a look at that one while she's looking for the other one. Thank you, Bert. All right, so you can't find the last order.
No, I'm sorry, Your Honor.
Fine. Okay, close up your books. Mr. Metzger, what I assume you want is, so you want somebody to, I assume, you want somebody to say to your former wife, let's just stop it. I assume that that's what you want.
Yes, ma'am.
Okay. Did your older daughter go to live with your husband with your permission?
No, ma'am.
Do you regularly visit with her?
He does not bring her to...
No.
No.
She's 17 years old. It's not a question of he doesn't bring. Okay. That's not a question of he doesn't bring. You say that with regard to a child who's 10 years old, not for a child like this who's 17 years old. So you don't see her. So you are estranged from your daughter at this point. That's very sad.
Yes.
Put your hand down. I didn't ask you a question.
Okay. Sorry. She came over for...
I didn't ask you a question.
Okay.
Looks to me from the stack of papers that I see on both of these desks, from your well-collated file, that the two of you have spent the majority of the last several years litigating over nonsense. And you've done that to the detriment of not only yourselves, but your children. Is it true, Mrs. Metzger, that you, on 2 occasions in 1999, caused Mr. Metzger to be arrested? Just answer the questions. Did you, in fact, do that?
I filed police reports, yes.
And is it also correct that both of those matters were ultimately dismissed?
No.
Which matter was not dismissed?
The matter with the photos was not dismissed. It was that they couldn't find enough information to prosecute.
So it was not prosecuted?
Right.
Okay.
Because I do have a letter.
This about photos involves some photos that were allegedly, according to you, sent by your now former husband, that were revealing pictures that were sent to either members of your family and or an employer. You said that only the plaintiff had copies of those pictures and had him arrested for harassment or whatever with regard to transmitting those pictures. But nothing ever happened to that case. You want to show me?
Yes, he was the only person who had
I'm not getting into
those.
it. I'm not getting into it. These cases are 2 years old, so I'm not getting into it. Doesn't mean I'm finished with all of you, but whatever. They're photographs that I wouldn't like shared with anybody else.
Those were after the birth of my daughter.
I understand.
My eldest daughter.
Ultimately, the two cases were either dismissed or not prosecuted. Is that right? The answer is yes.
Yes.
Real cases, real people. Judge Judy. Mark Metzger says ex-wife Helen Metzger filed false charges against him on several occasions. Helen says Mark won't let her see their daughter.
In the last 2 years, there have been ongoing proceedings in family court with regard to your two children.
For custody, which I have open visitation with Lynn when she chooses to do so, and she's able to call me whenever she chooses to do so.
Okay, but she has not. She has not
Other
chosen
than Christmas and Thanksgiving, she did come over for those holidays.
In the issues of custody, more often than not, a mother is granted custody of minor children. More often than not. I'm not saying that's a good thing. I'm not saying it's a bad thing. I'm just saying that's what it is. So I assume, Mrs. Metzger, that you are A, angry, B, hurt that your oldest daughter chose to live with your husband some 2.5 or 3 years ago, and that you have now become estranged.
I am not angry with the fact.
Well, then, but are you telling me you consented to it in court?
When she actually left, no, I was not angry. I consented to it on February 6th of this year, yes.
3 years later. 3 years later, because you had no choice to consent to it, because a judge, when the judge talks to a 17-year-old and says, if you put me with my mother, I'm going to run away, judge has no other alternative. I mean, I lived in the family court for a quarter of a century, madam, so believe me, I know what's going on. Believe me, I know what's going on. I've read these papers. I could relive these papers and tell you exactly what happened in the courts over the last 3 or more years. Mr. Metzger, I want you to trust me on that one, sir.
Oh, I do. I know. I watch your show and I do.
I want you to trust me on that one.
I've seen your show many times. I believe you.
That does not mean, Mrs. Metzger, that you have any right or license to do anything to interfere, impede, negate, suggest, make it difficult for your younger daughter's father to have full and complete and open communication with him, hopefully whenever she wants to.
Your Honor.
I'm not finished yet. I'm not finished yet. I know all the tricks. I know the unplugged phones. I know the not being there with a 10-year-old. I know all of those things. And it's not good for children. The fact that you can't stand each other anymore has nothing to do with the two children you created.
I agree with you 100%.
Good.
However, but what he has stated is untrue.
About what?
I was always home at 7 o'clock and 8 o'clock just so they can have that communication. I never unplugged the phone. I never did any such thing. I always rushed home so he can have that conversation time with her. Prior to this year, he had no communication with her whatsoever, and we were there continuously.
When was the last time there was a problem with pickup or delivery of the child during visitation?
It hasn't been recent as far as with Emily, with Mark picking up Emily. That was just back in '99. He's been pretty regular, but as far as him dropping off Chrislyn from age of 14 through now, I understand that. I understand that. I'm just saying, no, she has not brought her, but maybe she hasn't chose to come either.
Your 17-year-old daughter, if she wants to see you, will see you, Mrs. Metzger.
Exactly, I understand that.
There's a reason. It may not be a good reason, because I'm not finished talking to her yet. We haven't even started yet. And I assume that you feel as if you have good reason to have cut your mother off.
Yeah.
You want to tell me about what that is?
I don't know.
Like, how do you want me to start, like, where do you want me to start telling you from?
Well, why don't you just tell me from your heart why you think at this point, now that it appears at least, that all of the legal issues have been resolved, you've probably spoken to more judges and more psychiatrists and psychologists and law guardians over the last few years than you want to talk to for the rest of your life. So now it's all over. So I want you to tell me right now, just from here, why you don't pursue a relationship with your mother.
I don't talk to my mother because she's done a lot of hurtful things to me, and I seen her with a woman when I was in 7th grade, and then she told me that she was leaving us and she was going to go live with this woman, and she left, so I was like, okay, then, and after that, I really wasn't close to my mom at all. I didn't want to talk to her because it hurt me really bad that she did that, and I haven't been able to talk to her since then.
You think parents are perfect?
No.
They're not perfect. Neither are kids. And there is no question in my mind that your mother has done things that hurt you. Right? On tissue? Look. I don't think your mother woke up one morning, ever, and said to herself, I have a design to hurt my children. She may well have woken up and say, I have a design to hurt you. But that just doesn't happen.
Yeah.
And sometimes adults have changes in their lives. I'm not suggesting to you that it's easy for any teenage girl and their mother. Under ordinary circumstances, that's not easy. And usually teenage girls prefer their fathers. That's why even guys who are macho and say, I want to have a son, know that if they're smart, they'll pray for a daughter. Doesn't mean, in her own way, she doesn't love you. And I'm telling you that it's probably best for you, long term, to see her. I'm not saying you have to go over there every day and share your innermost thoughts and feelings. I'm just saying long term, it's probably best for you to open up that dialogue with your mom. Because although she's made, in your mind, errors, she's caused a lot of pain. According to what you tell me, she has destroyed your family, all of those things. She didn't wake up one morning and say, I'm out to destroy my family. Things became different, chaotic, whatever it was. And I'm sure she's done some vindictive things. I know it. She's your mother.
Yeah. But she's also called me a liar, and like we had to go to a counselor, and she told the counselor that I was lying, and she just repeatedly says things to me that hurt me that I can't forget.
I'm not suggesting you forgive them. You think that just because you're a parent, you are some sort of superhuman being. Parents are just people who had a baby. Not perfect. She's made mistakes. Have you made mistakes?
I have not made any towards her personally.
I didn't ask you that, Mrs. Metzger.
Yes, I have made mistakes, but not towards her personally.
Well, when you talk about towards her personally, Mrs. Metzger, she perceives the fact that her home was divided, and that was precipitated by you. Now, you may not say that that wasn't directed towards her personally, right? Wasn't directed towards her personally, but she was affected by it.
But I never left the home, Your Honor. I never left the home on that day like they're saying. When our family had broken up originally, it was when we were living in Riverside County, and I was thrown out of my house by Mr. Metzger here. I did not leave voluntarily.
Ms. Metzger,
this has just been...
If you're going to have, even hope to have, any relationship at all with your older daughter, you're going to have to understand that while you think you may not have done anything to her personally, like hit her personally, yelled at her personally, that the actions that she's seen over the course of the last several years have affected her personally. You have to soften up a little bit. I have a sense that your older daughter is prepared to soften up maybe a little bit. She's very unhappy that there's a piece of her, because she's crying now, there's a piece of her that is very unhappy that she doesn't have a relationship with you.
I requested through my children's attorney that we have counseling for her and I to repair our relationship.
And?
Since we are here now, I would like her to know that that is what I want to do. I just want to repair my relationship with my daughter. She's been my daughter for 17 years, and I love her dearly. She's always going to be my baby.
Yeah.
Your Honor, I have her in counseling now with 2 different counselors and a psychiatrist. The psychiatrist has asked Helen and called Helen to go to counseling because I pay for it. She refused to go, and she has not gone. This child
Let me ask-
goes to counseling, Your Honor.
Is that an open invitation for Mrs. Metzger?
She's had it. No.
Don't be angry. Don't be
open
angry.
for her to go, yeah, if
It's
she wants
open
to.
for her to go.
Right. Yes, I agree that they should.
What about you?
It doesn't matter to me if she goes or not.
Would you
because
feel
how-
as if that was a step in the right direction?
In a way, yeah, but in a way, no, because how she told you that she's never done anything directly to me, she's never hit me directly or said anything to me, she's not telling you the truth on that.
She may not be. But starting from, if you start today, Today's day one.
New day.
New day. I'm not saying you have to all be the Brady Bunch. Maybe if your therapist can help you open up a dialogue, you'll feel better. You won't feel all that stress inside. Are you in therapy?
No, ma'am.
You should be.
I believe we all should be.
Maybe, but certainly you should be. Sounds to me as if you need it. Mr. Metzger, this is your lawsuit, and I know that I went far afield of your lawsuit. But when I looked at it, and I got to the dates of the incidents that you were complaining about, they were 2 years old, and in my judgment, not something that I was prepared to address as far as a harassment. But I did get a sense that this was an ongoing process of family dysfunction. I didn't know whether any of my input might be valuable. I don't know whether it has been or not.
Yes, it has, ma'am.
Go, Mrs. Metzger. You won't be sorry.
Oh, I understand.
Good.
Parties have been sworn in, Judge. You may be seated. Folks, have seats, please.
Miss Miller, I've read your complaint, and I gather you had no contact with your biological father your entire life. Is that
This is
correct?
true. He never knew I was conceived.
And as an adult, that started to probably pry on your
Correct.
mind, and you wanted to find him.
Correct.
Your complaint generally states that you befriended the defendant, or he you. You knew he had family in Italy, where your father, I believe, came from, where
Correct.
you believed still lived there. And you gave him $5,000 in the hopes of locating your father. You claimed that he did nothing to earn the $5,000, didn't find your father, and you want your money back.
This is true.
Okay. What efforts had you made to locate your father?
I had researched programs for people, 1-800-US Search, those type of programs to try and locate him. I have a unique situation because, of course, I was not adopted. He never knew I was conceived. He had flown back to Italy right in 1969 after he had met my mother. So I've never wanted to interrupt his family life. He never knew I was born. He was engaged to be married. I did not want to interfere. I wanted to find him directly. I had made many, many, many searches, called investigators, see how much it would cost.
For a long time. For how long?
Oh, at least 15 years. Adult life. I'm 30. At least 15 years. At my wit's end, I did befriend him. He was very cordial. I explained my situation. We were in the same workplace. So he said, I would love to help you. I do this for people. I would like to help you. So I said, wonderful, let's talk about it. He did graciously invite me to his home. His father was there, very, very nice to me. Both of them were very nice. Said this will be no problem. Came out with a folder explaining that he had done this for other people, different situations, but did know how to contact. Had a lot of resources and connections over there, that his father was the mayor of South Italy, la, la, la. I was like, wonderful, this is my one hope to find him. So we proceeded. About 3 months into it, just the verbal things, he did come up with, I need some more money. I'm going to need possibly money. No money was mentioned in the beginning. Came up with more money. I need more money because it's getting more in depth. I need to pay some people to do work for you over there because I'm not there, those type of things. I said, what's the money for? A little hesitant. I don't make a lot of money. What's it for? Am I going to, receipts, anything. But I understand if you're making long-distance calls, I owe the phone calls, to Italy. Of course, valid. Time went on. He came back with, so I did reluctantly, but I did pay the money. That is a very large money, $5,000. That's, 4 or 5 months worth of my work. So I did pay the money. My mother was currently dying of cancer. She recently passed away October 11th. When he asked for the money, he did ask, I need you to sign a piece of paper, which I wrote up myself, indicating that you will allow me permission to get information over in Italy from the Italian consulate, the American consulate. I said, of course I will. I drew those up for him, and he claimed that's what he needed the money for, and that was to get passport information, different things that, to me, I would think you would have to pay services for.
Just 1 second. How did you know he was married and has 3 children?
My mother told me this. My mother said he was my father.
How did she know that he was married?
She had an affair with him for about 4 months. He was engaged to be married when they had met.
That's right. That's what you told me. That's what I didn't understand.
Right.
So she had some contact with him subsequently because...
None.
Well, how did you know to put in this letter that he married and has 3 children?
From the family here in San Diego.
And who got that information for you?
I have always had their phone number because I got it from 411. The great aunt and uncles. I never wanted
So
to go
they
to
told
them.
you- just a second. So
Yes.
they told you that he is married and has 3 children.
That family.
That family.
Yes.
Not
that
the
family.
defendant.
No, not the defendant.
Okay.
No.
Okay. Go ahead.
Yes. At this point, he did ask for the money, asked for that paperwork. I did comply with him, and I gave it to him. The things that he verbalized to me after that had happened was that he found more information for me. Great. He found me this piece of paper, which you can show, and he provided me these numbers handwritten, and I went ahead and typed them up myself, and I even gave him, I believe, a copy back of that I typed up. These numbers, he claimed, was possible locations in different towns in Italy that my father, his name, may be under. Later on, he tells me, I found your father, confirmed he's in prison. I said, fine. I said, okay. I mean, he's never knew I was born. I'm not upset about that, but please find out. I don't want you doing anything, illegal, any of that. If he's a murderer, if it's something kooky like that, I will back down. I don't want to go there. I said, I just need the location. Once he finds he's in prison, great. What's the prison? Let me start writing a letter. Let me take it from here. So that was, I don't even remember the date, probably August, sometime in August. I made about 5 attempts at this point from August, and I have them written down, August 16th, 18th, 28th, and September 6th, where I went to his cafe and said, Marcello, because we cordially got along very well. I said, you've helped me out. I know he's in prison now. Great. I want to write the letter. Can I have my documentation where my $5,000 went? I want my phone bills. I want something in writing.
Just 1 second. Did you, in fact, ascertain that your father is the person who he reported is in prison?
Since then, I know that his information is completely inaccurate.
Is inaccurate?
Yes. 2 days ago, my witness here, George Cosentini, spoke to my father in Salerno. He has never been in prison. We confirmed that he is the birthday of which I gave him initially.
Okay.
And
Just a
my
second.
father does know my mother and was in his uncle and aunt's restaurant in 1969. Confirmed all that information. He has spoken to him twice.
Who are you, sir?
My name is George Cosentini.
Who does speak Italian.
Come stand here, Mr. Cosentini. How did you locate her father?
What I did was...
I was in a dead end with Marcello, so I decided I was desperate to go to the family, so I got the courage with my sister to go knock on my great-aunt and uncle's home. Reluctantly, they were wonderful people, welcomed me, believed that this was true, recalled memories of my mother, were crying, and in which case gave me the number, I'm sorry to interrupt, gave me the number of my father's sister, said, unfortunately, I don't know where my nephew is, but my sister, his sister will definitely know. Give her a call. So at that point, after that day, I brought him the number, and I said, please call the jail to verify that his stuff is inaccurate, that it's not my father.
First of all, there are
This
no,
is the sheet he gave
there are
me.
no addresses or zip codes if we were to contact the jail. But I did call the jail, and the phone number that we got from information of the Italian consulate said that there was a in prison in Naples. And then I proceeded to ask, can we write letters? Do you know how long he'll be there? Because we're not going to make a trip there if we can't see him or write letters. Then I proceeded to let her know this information. Yes, this is in jail. I said, let me go a little further. Let me call your aunt and just pretend that I'm going to go visit and we want to see her brother, which would be her father. I said, can we have the number? We're going to be there pretty soon. Hoping she would say, he's in jail or he's this, to confirm what Marcello had done for her.
Then it would be done.
She said, oh yes, I'll give you the number at his home. And I went, at his home? She goes, yes. So I reiterated, I go, this is at his home number?
He calls immediately, said, this is my situation. I have a friend here in America, does not speak Italian. Her mother knew you. Do you know this name, Phyllis Miller? Oh, cried, emotional. Said, I knew your mother, her mother in 1969, and I want you to come visit. She has a daughter, and that's how he got there.
Real cases, real people. Judge Judy. Kai Miller says she gave $5,000 to former friend Marcello Nicoletti so he could find her estranged father. Kai says he didn't do anything to earn the money.
Go ahead.
Now, I don't want to let her know why we're calling.
Sensitive.
So I kind of covered it up, sugarcoated by saying, my father knew your brother.
Okay, but in the meantime,
I called.
There's a happy ending to your story.
Yes.
So
I called her father.
Yes. It's a happy ending to your
And
story.
spoke to
So
him
far,
twice.
you haven't gone to Italy yet, I assume?
February 8th. We are
So
leaving.
you're going?
Yes.
Okay. So the only issue that I have for you, Mr. Nicoletti, is you were given this $5,000. It's clear that the person that you located was not her father.
The person she told me to locate the person that was in jail.
No. The person that you located was not her father.
I don't know.
It is
Your
not.
Honor.
Trust me. Mr. Nicoletti, the person that you located in jail is not her father. You are certainly entitled to be reimbursed for any expenses that you have. Nobody expects you to be out of pocket any money whatsoever to help her. All she wants to know is, since you did not locate her father...
And this is what I get.
Shh.
Sorry, ma'am.
Since you did not locate her father, she wants to know exactly what you spent money on and who you paid the money to, and some proof by way of receipts, Western Union money orders, etc., where you spent the money, which is most reasonable. So, do you want to show me?
Yes, Your Honor.
Good.
First of all, when she approached me in Maine, she was telling me about she was looking for...
No, I got the whole story.
Okay.
Listen to what I'm saying.
Okay,
Listen to what I'm saying to you. You are entitled to be
you.
compensated for any out-of-pocket expenses, because that's what you said you needed the money for, not for your fee. You weren't talking about a fee for you. You said, I need money to be compensated for expenses. You did not find her father. Just show me proof by way of receipts of what money you actually spent.
Your Honor, these are the phone bills where my father called the person several times.
I asked 5 times for those. Why didn't I get those?
You called already. Let me
Yeah,
talk to the judge,
Miss Miller.
okay? Please.
Miss Miller.
I was quiet all that.
I respect it.
Please.
Sorry, sir.
Okay, thank you. This is a receipt for the people in Italy. This is the Federal Express, which I got it from the Federal Express right here.
Okay.
This right here, the letter she signed me, where it says authorize my father and I to locate this person. This is the list with all the people that the family.
No. I don't want to see that. All I want to see is the money
right here.
that you spent.
Okay.
Just a minute. You speak Italian and read Italian?
Yes, ma'am.
Would you please translate that for me?
I'll do the best I can. It's not perfect.
How do I know this wasn't typed up yesterday?
Just a second. Listen, Miss Miller, I asked him to do me a favor and to please translate it for me.
Yes, ma'am.
The below written received the sum in U.S. dollars of $5,000 from used for...
You want to help you?
Used for to locate a person indicated
below.
Yeah. I mean, I don't read Italian, but you could.
More or less, you understand.
Yeah.
Mr. Nicoletti.
Yes.
Is what you're suggesting, sir, that I believe that you sent her entire $5,000 to somebody in Italy?
Apparently, I'll tell you the way we sent the money to Italy. My father used to work for the government for 40 years. He used to be an attorney, worked for the government.
No, just listen to my question, sir. Do you expect me to believe that you sent the entire $5,000 to somebody in Italy? That's either a yes or a no.
You're the judge. I think you make a decision. I think you believe it.
Very good. Then I'll be the judge and I'll make the decision. You gave her this list, sir. Is that correct? Is this the exhibit that you gave to her?
My
Show it
father's
to him.
name is spelled wrong.
Am I speaking to you?
I never give it to her, this one here, Your Honor.
Where did that list come from, Miss Miller?
It came directly from him after the 5th time of requesting. I said, came back to him September 9th and said, why is my father's name spelled wrong? And he says, my son wrote it.
Your Honor, you look at the writing. This is my writing right here.
Let me see it, sir.
This is my writing.
Let me see it.
This is my...
Okay, I'm good.
No. You had this piece of paper, sir, in your packet of papers.
No, I don't have it, ma'am.
You don't have this
No,
piece
I don't have it. You want to
this
check? I don't
packet of
have
paper?
it. No, ma'am. I don't have it.
Where did you get this from?
Directly from him at our company.
Yeah, why would she have this? She wouldn't have this.
I came back to him upset.
She wouldn't have prepared
it wasn't
this.
valid.
But why should I give it all the items, what they
Because
spent,
that's what I
which
kept
I don't know?
asking for.
Hey, Miss Miller.
Excuse me, you
Miss
want to
Miller,
just calm down?
Mr.
I'm
Nicoletti,
listening.
do I look like I'm in charge?
Excuse me, Your Honor.
Miss Miller, if you speak to him again, I'm going to dismiss your lawsuit.
I understand.
That would be very unhappy for you.
Very unhappy for me.
You understand?
Yes, ma'am.
Okay.
Yes, Your Honor.
Mr. Nicoletti,
Yes.
there is no question in my mind that you prepared this.
No, ma'am.
You or someone or your wife or your brother or your father or somebody else prepared this, because there would be no reason for her to have any of this information on here. The phone, USA phones, 450. Police cap, Italy, Napoli. Officer something, police, Italy, Napoli. City Hall, persons, 2, Napoli, $1,200. Gas and transportation, $250. Expenses, $450.
Hold it.
She didn't make this up.
Hold the owner. When I was talking on the phone, I just remember my son. He was on the phone with my father and I tell him the money was spending. He wrote that piece of paper, my son. My son.
Sir, you brought in phone bill.
Yes.
The phone bill, including Western Union, was $196.32. You wrote here $450.
I tell you, because when my father called Italy, he left a message to the letter he wrote. He never was to his office, so he returned a phone call to my father to let him know what the situation was. For this reason, the bill was $3, $4, man. And he charged my father the phone bill when he received in Italy.
Well, then it's your responsibility, sir, to have gotten those phone bills from him. Listen to me carefully, sir. The only phone bills you have, this is what you've given me in response to my question. You've given me this piece of paper, which I do not believe.
Why? That's a DHL. That's legal. You own it with the envelopes.
Sir, I believe the DHL, and I believe the receipt. I don't believe that you sent $5,000 to Italy.
Really?
Really. I believe that you have a Western Union here where you sent the total amount charged was $172 that included a $22 service charge.
Correct.
Right. And what else did you bring me? Nothing. Those are the two expenses that you have. $172 and $196.32. Now, you have to understand, Ms. Miller, it is very, very possible that there were people in Italy who were not as friendly as the defendant and who didn't like you or didn't feel as if they wanted to help you, but wanted to be compensated for what they'd been doing.
Understandable.
You understand that. And clearly there were phone calls that were made from Italy to the United States with information. Now, they talked for here 12 minutes, 10 minutes, not a lot of money. $1.07, gee, it's cheap to call Italy. Let's give this gentleman the benefit of the doubt that the money that was spent from the other end on the telephone was $250. Right?
Fair.
Now, somebody had to go to a police station. Somebody had to go and find out what he was convicted of, this person who turned out not to be your father.
Right.
Where he was. All of that takes time.
Sure.
Right? Who is this person, Mr.
He's in the police department for almost 30 years in Italy.
Is he still in the police department?
Yes, Your Honor. You know, in Italy, when you want looking for someone, you have to be careful because they don't know who they deal with sometimes. You know, they have to follow a person, they have to see who, you know.
Let's understand each other. The easiest thing in the world, if your father knows somebody who's in the police department, and Italy is not a backward country, they all have computers, the same kind of computers that we have here in the United States. The first thing that you would do to look for somebody is to put their name and date of birth in a computer. And that's what your friend did. And it came up with this name in this prison. That's convicted, such and such a date, currently serving a sentence of. You know how long that took? As long as it took me to say it. Let's say it was worth $500. All told, that's $893. Judgment for the plaintiff in the amount of $4,107. That's all.
Yeah, this is case number 119 on the calendar in the matter of Mack versus Lopez Winangle. Parties have been sworn in, Judge. You may be seated. Folks, have seats, please.
Mr. Mack, it is your claim that you sold a car to one of these defendants. I don't know which one. Which one? Lopez?
Yes.
I don't know who you are. Sit down.
You sit down.
Sit down. You sold a car to Mr. Lopez and he hasn't paid you for the car.
That's correct.
Mr. Lopez says he did not buy a car from you. He bought a car from somebody whose name is Mr. Stanley. You were merely the go-between. He owes you a finder's fee, and he wishes he could find Mr. Stanley because he owes him money too and he hasn't paid him, right?
Yes, ma'am.
And where's the car?
The car's in my garage.
Okay, so you're lucky. You have a car, but you haven't paid for, and you haven't paid the finder's fee, right? So you have everything.
Correct, as of right now, yeah.
Perfect. Okay, Mr. Mack, tell me about this car and the surrounding circumstances of the sale.
I agreed to buy a car off of Mr. Stanley, who's present in the courtroom.
That's Mr. Stanley.
Yes,
oh,
it is.
nice to see you.
And we had negotiated a price. I had showed, I'm sorry, go ahead.
You agreed to buy a car from Mr. Stanley.
That's correct.
What year car was this?
1990.
1990 what?
Chevy Cavalier, 2-door.
Was it running?
Yes.
Tell the truth. I'm sorry.
And Mr. Stanley?
Yes, ma'am.
What were you going to sell him the car for? How much? Mr. Stanley, look at me. That's not a hard question, sir. The questions are going to get harder.
Oh, I sold the car to Mr. Mack for $500.
On what date did you sell it to him for $500?
On around the end of July.
End of July doesn't help me, sir.
Maybe July 29th, 2002.
And why were you selling it?
Because my wife and I built a new house and we had to move it. It was in the driveway and it was off the road.
Because it wasn't running?
No, it did run.
Did it run the length of the driveway, or could you take it on a trip to Canada?
You could have took it on a trip to California, Your Honor.
No, you
Perfect.
couldn't.
So you were selling this well-running car that you could drive cross-country for $500 to Mr. Mack.
Right.
Okay, Mr. Mack. Now, Mr. Lopez was a friend of yours, is that right?
An acquaintance.
Acquaintance, who you knew was looking for a car, and you told him that you had a car.
That's correct.
When did you sell him the car?
Well, right after I purchased the car from Mr. Stanley. I had shown Mr. Lopez
You mean
the car.
a day later?
Yes.
So say July 30th, you sold it to Mr. Lopez for how much?
That's correct, for $1,000. I had shown Mr.
He's lying.
Lopez the car. I had shown Mr. Lopez the car. He agreed that he liked the car. I told him I wanted $1,000 for it.
He's lying.
Mr. Lopez,
I'm sorry.
I don't want you to say anything until
Yes,
I
ma'am.
ask you a question.
Yes,
Do
ma'am.
you understand?
Yes, ma'am.
So you were going to make a quick $500.
That's correct.
How do you know Mr. Stanley?
Friends with his son.
How did you come to a price of $500, sir?
That's what I had into the car. To get it back in running condition, I had new brakes, rotors, tires, exhaust system.
So why did you want to sell it for $500, sir?
That's what I had into it. I sold the house, I had to move the car.
Fine. Now, when you sold the car to Mr. Mack, did you turn over the title to him? The answer is either yes or no.
No.
Did you have the title?
Yes.
Did Mr. Mack pay you for it?
He gave me $300.
So he hasn't paid you for it.
Then Mr. Lopez and Mr. Mack came to the house, and Rob Mack told me that Lopez was buying the car. I didn't ask how much. I said, "You going to be able to pay for the car?" He said, "Yeah. My brother's got a
taco stand.
Could you do me a favor? Don't help him out.
Yeah.
Okay.
A taco stand or a hot dog stand at the carnival."
Just a second.
I'm going to
So
work
what
at.
you're telling me, Mr. Stanley, is that Mr. Mack agreed to purchase your car for $500 on the 29th of July. You did not turn over the title to him. You did not make an exchange of any documents with him, but he gave you $300.
Right.
And you have not been paid the other $200. Is that right?
No. Robert Mack gave me another $100. I gave him the title because we were in the shuffle of moving.
Just a second. So now you've got $400 towards the total purchase
Right.
price of the car.
And he still owes me.
So you're still owed $100
Right.
on the car.
Right.
Okay. Who's got the title to the car? You do.
Yes, ma'am.
Interesting. Now, sit down for a moment,
Thank
please. Okay, so as far as you're concerned, Mr. Mack, you got how much money from Mr. Lopez?
Like $20.
Okay. Now, Mr. Lopez, you
Yes,
tell me
ma'am.
your version of this fairy story.
That was a good story they came up
Okay,
with.
let me hear your version of it, sir.
End of July, around July 25th, 26th, me and Mr. Mack were together. I said I was talking to him about I needed a car, and he said, well, I know somebody that's got one. He's selling it for $200. Let's go look at it. All right, let's go. We went out there that minute. I believe it was in front of his daughter's house. It looked like it was sitting there about 2 years or maybe a year. It had weeds around it. I really didn't care. I just needed a winter car, so I was like, okay. Me and Mr. Mack went to in the back of Mr. Stanley's house where Mr. Stanley was doing something with his horses. And Mr. Mack told Mr. Stanley, I got a buyer. You know, can we get the keys? Mr. Stanley said, you know what, I'm doing something right now. Come back in about an hour. I'll have the keys for you. Me and Rob then went back to the car again so I could just look over it while we're waiting for Mr. Stanley to get the keys. We open the door and there's bees all in there.
Bees?
Bees' nests, yes ma'am. So me and Mr. Mack go to the gas station about a mile down the road and get Hornet spray, come back, spray it all out. Open the hood, there's more bees. Like I said, we cleaned out all the bees. By that time, Mr. Mack's ready to go to
Just
Mr.
a second. So far, does that sound like something that could have happened? You don't make up that story, right?
Oh, that could have happened.
Yeah. You don't make up that story. I mean, you can make up a lot of stories, but that story you don't make up.
Nope.
Right?
Judge Judy continues in a moment.
He said acquaintance. I've known this gentleman for over 8 years.
If Mr. Mack wants me to believe him,
He's an
you were
acquaintance.
merely an acquaintance
Right.
because when somebody is a friend, you wouldn't screw him like he screwed you.
Right.
And later today,
Do you have any evidence here?
No, I don't have any evidence.
So you have no evidence. You're coming to court. You have to bring more than a smile when you come to court.
real cases, real people. Judge Judy. Robert Mack Jr. claims former friend Joshua Lopez owes for a car he bought from his friend. Joshua claims Robert is pulling a scam.
Go ahead.
Okay. Like I said, me and Mr. Mack went back to Mr. Stanley's house. By that time, he finally gives us a single key on a ring. I don't know, might have had a little ornament or something on it. And we go back, start it up. I said, well, can I drive it up and down the road, you know? And Mr. Stanley was not present at the time. It was just me and Mr. Mack. I drove it up and down the road. It was okay. He said, how do you want to get back to Lockport? I said, I'll just drive it. No registration, no insurance, no plates, no nothing. I'll just
I
drive
had
it. Let's
dealer
go.
plates, Your Honor, when we moved the car.
He's lying. He's got a lot of stories.
Mr. Lopez, don't make it worse.
Okay. I
So far, you're
apologize.
doing
It's just-
okay.
I came here to tell the truth, and they're that's...
So far, I haven't heard anything about negotiating price.
Okay. When we were looking at it, before we went to the store, me and him talked. He said, Mr. Stanley only wants $200 for the car. I don't know what he's talking about, $5,000 or $1,000. He said, you give me $250, $50 for me being the finder, $200 for Mr. Stanley, we'll call it a day. I said, that's fine with me, $200 for a winter car, that's good. And then we went back to Mr. Stanley's trailer house. He asked, do you want to buy it? I said, yes, I do. He looked at Mr. Mack and said, can you trust this guy for me to give him the title and the keys, and he's going to pay us? Rob said, yes. You know, I'll give you my word, he's going to pay me. If not, then I'll pay for it. So we go back to the car. We had an extension cord. I tied to the bumper and tied to the bumper of the car he was driving. And to act like we were pulling it, I drove the car, he drove the front one. We took the first right and the cord broke. So I just pulled over and a guy pulled over to help us. Do you need help? I said, no. Before the cops come and I go to jail for driving this car with no registration, no insurance, no plates, no nothing, let's just drive it. So he's like, oh, okay. He gets in his car. I do like 90 all the way home. That's, you know.
When did you get the title?
I arrived home with Mr. Mack accompanying behind me. We started talking about 3 days before I left for Syracuse State Fair, which is in like the end of the second week or third week of August.
Meanwhile, you haven't been driving the car?
No. It's
Okay.
been parked. Never has been put on the road since then. Never has been driven.
Why?
It didn't have a new muffler system. My brother paid for a new muffler for it. I have pictures of a brand new starter we put in it. After I got it home, the next day I tried to start it. It wouldn't start. The starter died.
Okay. You got the title when?
3 days before I left for Syracuse State Fair.
How?
Mr. Mack brought it to my house.
Okay,
And my
when he
girlfriend
came-
Tony was present at the time.
When he brought it to your house, didn't he ask you for any money?
No, he did not. Our agreement was for me to pay him off of the contract that I signed with Syracuse State Fair. When I got back, I was to pay him.
What were you doing at the Syracuse State Fair?
My brother met an individual, a gentleman where he works for, and we do pizzas, like in the little fried dough concession stands and the lemonade and pizza.
Okay,
at
so
carnivals.
you were
We were
the food,
running one of
you
them.
had a food concession.
Yep.
Okay, so you haven't paid Mr. Mack his $50.
No.
And you haven't paid anything to Mr. Stanley.
No.
Okay, now Mr. Stanley says he's only owed another $100. Is that right?
That's right. From Mr. Mack.
You don't care who you get it from, right?
No, Your Honor. I don't care.
Your Honor, I'd also like to show you the value. I went on the computer, the value of the car that I sold Mr. Lopez.
Let me explain something to you, Mr. Mack. You're not going to get $1,000. Do you understand that?
Okay.
Thank you.
Even if I believe probably bits and snippets of both of these stories, I think that what you did was overreaching. I don't know if this is an appropriate word for a judge to use, but I'm going to use it. Either you screwed Mr. Stanley or you screwed Mr. Lopez. Because if you're going to show me the value of a car, then you shouldn't have screwed Mr. Stanley because he sold your car for $500, or you screwed Mr. Lopez because you sold it to him less than 24 hours later, if I were to believe you, and doubled your money without paying a penny.
I thought that was...
So you screwed either him or you screwed him. So from this court, you're not getting your $1,000. Do you understand?
That's perfectly fine.
Perfectly fine. $50 finder's fee, I would say, for not doing any work at all whatsoever, that's pretty reasonable. I think that's, for somebody who's an acquaintance, that's a pretty reasonable thing.
Ma'am, may I say something, please?
Go ahead.
He said acquaintance. I've known this gentleman for over 8 years. He hung at my house. He spent the night. That's more than an acquaintance to me.
Listen to me.
Right now.
Maybe to you. Maybe to you. But if Mr. Mack wants me to believe him, you were merely an acquaintance because when somebody is a friend, you wouldn't screw him like he screwed you.
You're right.
Now, I don't believe you, Mr. Lopez, that you were going to spend $200 for this car. And I'm going to tell you why. I believe $500 was a more appropriate figure. Because why would Mr. Stanley over here say that he was already paid $400? That is what you testified, isn't it?
Yes, ma'am.
So you're owed another $100.
Yes, ma'am.
And you don't care who you get that from.
You're right.
So you say that you owe Mr. Stanley $200.
$200, because that was
Shh. So this is what we're going to do. You're going to be real happy about this. You only have to pay Mr. Stanley $100.
Okay.
You have to show me where you paid Mr. Stanley $400. Can you do that?
Other than his word, I have no paperwork because
I don't know whether he, I don't know if he knows whether today is Tuesday. You know what we're talking about? You know what I'm talking about with you, sir? I don't know if he knows what today is Tuesday, and I don't know what kind of scam you're pulling, but I'm getting really irritated.
No,
so you are entitled to a $50 finder's fee, which Mr. Lopez says he agreed to pay you.
I did.
That's all you're entitled to.
Question, Your Honor. If I bought the car from Mr. Stanley for $500,
show me a purchase bill of sale.
He wouldn't give me one until I paid him for the until I paid him the $500. Why would he write me a bill of sale if I didn't
He
pay him
could
the
write
money?
you a note saying that you had given him $300 down or $400 down. You still owe him $100. I've sold my car on this 29th day of July 2002 to Mr. Mack for the amount of $500. He's given me $300 down, owes me another $200. Signed, what's your first name?
Robert.
Robert Stanley. That's very simple, right? See, when you try to be a con artist, that's what happens, Mr. Mack. When you try to outsmart people, then sometimes you get outsmarted yourself. You're entitled from Mr. Lopez the amount of $50. That's finder's fee, because I believe that part of Mr. Lopez's testimony that that's what you told him you wanted, $50 for finding this car. Who paid for the bee spray?
I did.
That's all. And if Mr. Stanley wants his $100 back that he says he didn't get, which I'm not so sure about, what he's going to have to do is he's going to have to sue one of you. Bye. From him, you get $50, because that's what you agreed to.
That's fine.
Thank you.
Parties are excused. You may step out.
First, I just want to say hi to a couple people. My girlfriend, Stacia Stanley, my sister, parents.
Our original agreement was $50 finder's fee, $200 for Mr. Stanley.
I bought the car off of Mr. Stanley for $500. I got conned. Only in America.
A con artist tried to come in here and scam somebody and got conned. That's it.
You know, this is America, and I got conned out of my money.
Judge Judy pinned it on the nose. He's a con artist.
A con artist.
He's nothing but a liar, a con artist, and he's trailer trash.
Yeah, we were friends, but, you know, friends backstab.
He made an agreement with me. He stabbed me in my back.
Friends like that, you don't need enemies.
And now the next case.
All parties in the matter of Daniels versus Robinson. Step forward, please.
Registered nurse Cherise Daniels is suing her ex-boyfriend, social worker Andre Robinson, for an unpaid loan. Andre claims she's been repaid.
Ms. Daniels, the defendant is your former boyfriend, and it is your claim that he owes you a balance on a loan that you made to him for his mother's funeral expenses. Mr. Robinson says that he paid back $1,300 of that loan. You acknowledge that?
Yes.
Owing a balance of $2,700, which he claims was forgiven because he did some favors for you.
That's correct, Your Honor.
So now, Ms. Daniels, we're going to get to some preliminary facts. Where did you get the $4,000 from?
Actually, I borrowed about 600 of it from my sister, but the rest of it I had myself. I work. I'm a registered nurse.
Where did you have it?
In my banking account.
Show me the withdrawal.
I don't have the statement from the withdrawal.
Do you have any evidence here of the loan?
No, I don't have any evidence.
So you have no evidence. You're coming to court, and you have to bring more than a smile when you come to court. Mr. Robinson, you claim that you gave her back $1,300. Is that right?
Yes, I did.
Show me proof of that.
I have no receipt. I paid her in cash.
You did? Where did you get the cash from?
From, well, pretty much work, from saving and accumulating.
Income tax.
I gave it to her.
Sorry, Your Honor.
Income tax what year?
It wasn't income tax because my income tax check was taken from me.
So it wasn't an income tax check?
Yeah. So I had to come up with that much amount of money on my own.
So that you saved $1,300?
Yes.
That you gave her in cash?
Yes, because I trust her like that. We've known each other
You know
for
what
so
my
long.
problem is, Mr. Robinson? You know what my problem is, Miss Daniels?
No, Your Honor.
I don't trust either one of you. So when you all get some proof, you come back to see me.
Well, Your Honor, can I say something?
No. Listen to me. Listen to me. When you all get proof, go to your bank.
Your Honor,
listen to me carefully. Until I see a bank withdrawal from your bank for $4,000, don't come back.
Yes, case number 317 on the calendar in the matter of Lagos versus Wade. Parties have been sworn in. You may be seated. Folks, have a seat.
Mr. Wade, you own a bar?
Yes.
The plaintiff was a patron in that bar?
Yes.
You had an employee in that bar? Female employee?
Yes.
In what capacity did you employ this woman?
The woman is a security.
And according to Miss Legos, this female security guard at your bar assaulted her without provocation. Now, there is some merit to her statement because this security guard pled guilty to assault, correct?
As far as I know, yes.
Let us take that as a given. She pled guilty and then she fled the jurisdiction after sentencing. That's what it says here, right?
Yes.
Miss Legos said she was injured and she wants to be compensated.
Correct.
When were you assaulted in Mr. Wade's bar?
On November 27th of 2003.
Tell me about it.
I was at the bar with a girlfriend. I have never been to that bar before. I went into the bar. I lost my friend. So I proceeded towards where I saw a bouncer at the exit. I asked him, what do people do when they lose their friends? He told me that I can try calling her on my cell phone, which I proceeded to do. And then afterwards, when I tried to come back in, he wouldn't let me back in. And so I was just inquiring on, well, how do I get back in? I'm lost. I've never been here before. And then out of nowhere, the security guard that came in, and she didn't know the conversation at all. And she just butted in and said, what's the problem? And I told her, I said, you know, please don't talk to me that way. You don't know what's going on. And then out of nowhere, she'd hit me on the right side of my head. I started crying. I've never been in a fight before. I asked the bouncer to get me assistance. I felt dizzy. I felt like I was going to pass out.
When she hit you, what did she hit you with?
A closed fist. The bouncer told me at that point to go home and drink it off. It happens all the time. They refused to call the owner. They refused to call any assistance for me. So I went on my cell phone. Another person who was there helped me walk to my car, and I dialed 911.
Either one of you there that evening?
Right, yes.
Were you at the door?
Yes.
Step up. Tell me your name.
Kevin Kinzis.
How long have you worked for Mr. Wade?
I have not. I'm a customer there.
You were a customer?
Right.
A regular customer?
Yes.
How did it come about that you accompanied Mr. Wade to court today?
Just came back there and asked what happened.
Came back
I came
where?
back to the establishment and asked him what happened because I saw a bunch of stuff going on at the back exit.
Well, what kind of stuff did you see going on, Mr. Kinsis?
Well, I was leaving through the other exit, and I seen her going through this exit.
Yes.
And I saw the bouncer saying, you can't come in through this exit. And it just...
And what?
This girl came by and...
Which girl?
This security guard.
Security guard came by and?
She said, shut up, you bull dyke, beep, and then, like, flicked her hair.
What? Who said what to whom, sir? You're not being clear. I want you to be clear.
The security guard.
Security guard said to her.
You cannot come in through here.
Yes.
And I heard, shut up, you bull dyke.
Who said it?
The security guard said it to her.
To her. So the security guard cursed her.
Right.
And then hit her.
Well, flicked her, not, I mean, hit her, just like flicked her hair.
And then what did you hear?
That was it, I just left.
So you didn't that really wasn't much of an incident?
No.
So what did you go find Mr. Wade for?
I just asked him what happened that night.
When did you ask him what happened that night?
Probably a week later.
Why would you even think about asking him what happened a week later, sir, if what you described to me was truthful, Mr. Kinsis, that nothing happened, somebody got their hair flicked? Why would that even stay in your mind, Mr. Kinsis?
I just asked him what happened back there, and he told me.
What did he tell you?
That some girl tried getting into the exit, and, are you a witness? And I said, yes, I saw it. What happened?
Sit down.
Huh?
Aren't you sorry you made a fool of yourself?
Yeah.
Sit down.
All right.
Good. Mr. Wade, Mr. Kinsis is sorry he made a fool of himself.
I think he's scared.
Now, were you hospitalized?
No, I didn't have insurance at that time.
Just listen to me. Answer my question. Were you hospitalized?
No, ma'am.
When for the first time did you seek medical assistance?
The next morning.
Do you have a report from a doctor?
I do, ma'am.
May I see it, please?
Can I add something?
Yes.
In case you can't read it, the last paragraph of this police report basically says the detective had a call because the...
May I see the police
Yes.
report, please?
Here's the police report, and here's the last paragraph right here.
Oh. Okay. Any medical follow-up?
Yes, ma'am.
Can I see it, please?
Anything else you got?
No, sir. I have the docket report. I don't know if you need that.
What's your last name?
Dewberry.
What are you doing here?
I was the one that discussed this with her, settling.
You work for Mr. Wade?
Yes.
Stand up, please. What did you discuss with her?
I discussed going over her medical bills with her and coming up with a settlement for the incident that had happened.
When did you first have your conversation with her?
In July of 2004.
When did Miss Mullen plead guilty?
I don't know.
When?
She pled guilty at the end of April of 2004 by the district attorney.
So what took you so long? Why did you wait until July?
That's when I was first contacted by her.
When had she contacted you, Mr. Wade?
About June?
Not before June,
No.
even though this incident happened in November.
Right.
Is that right?
No, ma'am, it's not right.
Judge Judy continues in a moment.
According to the police, this lady was not intoxicated. She was not sloppy. What are you laughing at? Are you inappropriate or what?
And later today,
Women don't like to be made a fool of. Sometimes they cut your clothes in half with you in them.
real cases, real people. Judge Judy. Julie Lagos claims nightclub owner Jack Wade owes for damages from an assault. Julie claims she was punched in the head by a female bouncer.
Now, when did you first
I first contacted him in December. He said that he was willing to work with me, but he was not going to settle with me for anything until he knew whether or not Lisa pled guilty by the district attorney.
That sounds right. This lady didn't wait, sir, until June. She went to the doctor right away, and she contacted you right away.
That's not true. She told me in June. I didn't know that anything was going on with her. She called me and she told me she'd been there. And
Let me tell you something, sir.
Yes, sir. Ma'am.
You see this gentleman over here? He came and testified a moment ago at your request. He said that he spoke to you a week after the incident, which would have been in December.
Yeah.
And you asked him if he could be a witness.
No, I didn't ask him if he would be a
He
witness.
volunteered to be a witness.
No, he'd come in to me. No.
Right?
Right.
Right, that's what he says, Mr. Wade. Volunteered to be a witness. Now, why would you need a witness if the plaintiff did not contact you from November until June?
He came to me in December and he said, I was out there that night and heard this commotion, a bunch of yelling. And I said, oh, I said, did you see it? And he said, yeah. I said, what happened? He didn't know why she was yelling and all, just what he saw.
Mr. Wade, you're pulling my leg, sir.
No, I'm not pulling your leg.
Yeah, you are, sir. You're pulling my leg.
No, I'm not.
Because this lady did not wait after she was assaulted in your bar 7 months before she contacted you to be compensated for the assault. Let's get over that, because it doesn't make sense. And if it doesn't make sense, Mr. Wade, it's not true.
No.
Now,
I have a document here in July that she faxed us stating the damage done to her in July on her own father's fax machine.
Just 1 second. I'm not saying she didn't fax you that in July. I'm not saying she didn't contact you in June. I'm saying it was not the first time she contacted you. The first time she contacted you was prior to June. Now, when was your settlement negotiation with her?
I started discussing them with her in July.
What did you offer her?
I didn't offer anything. I offered to go over the medical bills with her.
Yes.
And come to some sort of settlement. She was first seeking $10,000.
Yes.
We met again, and we came down to a $5,000 settlement based on the fact that these bills were true.
Okay, well, did you read the report from the detective?
No, I didn't.
Well, the report from the detective indicates that the detective had conversations with a treating physician, whose report I do have here, who indicates that she was in fact injured, that the tenderness in her head was consistent with that injury, that in the opinion of the doctor it was a result of being hit in the head. Okay? Now, whether she had medical bills or not, even if she had no medical bills, you're still responsible. You're liable. You hired somebody to work in your establishment who you shouldn't have hired. I don't know what kind of background investigation you did, but certainly you're responsible. If somebody walks into your bar and a member of your staff assaults them, you're liable. You're liable for her pain and suffering. You're liable for her humiliation. You're liable if she gets dizzy, if she has flashbacks, if she has nightmares. Don't you get that, Mr. Wade?
I understand that. That's why we asked Kim to settle with her to see what the amount would be.
Well, then let me ask you this question, sir. What was the amount that you ultimately offered her?
They talked a discussion about $5,000. And she
so what are you doing here? If you offered her $5,000 and that's the maximum that this court can award, why are you here?
When Kim went to settle with her, we said about 7 to 10 days that we'd check the bills and get back to her. Now, on the 9th day, she called Kim up, yelling and screaming at her, and said if we don't have the money by 5 o'clock that day, the deal's off.
Let me ask you a question. If you said you understood what I just said to you, that whether she had medical bills or not, she was assaulted in your bar by one of your employees, and you are responsible. If she had a headache for 3 days, if she had dizziness, if she had tenderness in her head, which is consistent with the medical reports that are here from the detectives, you're responsible. How long did it take you from July to get back to her?
It was probably August when I was told her we'd probably, if he agreed to it, we'd settle in 7 to 10 days. On the 9th day, she called me and told me I better effing figure out a way to get her money tonight or I'd be sorry. Then she called me back again.
So just a minute. So you told her you were going to settle with her in 7 to 10 days. On the 7th day, you didn't settle with her. Get her a check. On the 8th day, you didn't settle with her. On the 9th day, you didn't call her. She called you.
Okay.
Yes.
Now, can I say something?
Sure.
The 7th and 8th day was on a Saturday and Sunday.
Then she shouldn't have said to her 7 to 10 days. She should have said 10 to 14 days.
I didn't do that.
You have a responsibility, Mr. Wade, that when you hire a security guard in your place of business, that you've done an appropriate background check. Now, I'm not going to ask you what kind of background check you did on this woman, because I don't think you did one. Because anybody who is convicted of assault and then takes off, this is not their first offense. This is not the first time that they have been involved in the law. That's your responsibility. And if because of your dereliction and your responsibility to make sure that not only are your doors covered, that people don't sneak in, but that your patrons are safe in your establishment, safe from being assaulted.
Julie Lagos claims nightclub owner Jack Wade owes for damages from an assault. Julie claims she was punched in the head by a female bouncer.
Now, according to the police, this lady was not intoxicated. She was not sloppy. What are you laughing at? Are you inappropriate or what?
She said she filed a report the next day. I just heard her say that.
On 11/27, date of the incident, I was dispatched. I officer was dispatched to South Manchester. Is that where you are, sir?
Yes.
All right. She was not intoxicated. That's the detectives. Why do you think this is funny?
I'm not laughing at you.
Good. Judgment for the plaintiff in the amount of $5,000. That's all.
Parties are excused. You may step out.
I'm very very excited that justice was served.
I don't want to get into that.
Words can't even say. I've tried and tried again, and he played me, and now he's the one that got played.
I have nothing to say.
He was slick and just didn't want to deal with Julie.
I don't want to talk about that.
On the last day, he told me, see, try and take me to court, and I took him to court, and I prevailed.
I'm very upset right now.
And now the next case.
All parties in the matter of Andrews versus Amadon Danforth. Step forward, please.
Homemaker Kathleen Andrews is suing her son's ex-girlfriend, 15-year-old student Leanna Danforth, and her mother, Amber Amadon, for the cost of a cell phone. Kathleen claims Leanna smashed the phone when she caught her son cheating.
No. How old are you?
17.
17. Girlfriend? Former girlfriend?
Yes.
Your name?
Leanna.
Your name?
Josh.
All right, Miss Andrews, you bought Josh a phone.
Yes.
Leanna got angry with him because she found out, or she believes she found out, that he wasn't faithful in their relationship, and somehow the phone got broken, right?
Yes.
How'd you break the phone?
I smashed it.
And you want her to pay for the phone?
Yes.
And you say you don't have to pay for the phone because that's what he gets for cheating?
Yes.
Oh. You're suing on behalf of your son because he's 17. You're 17?
15.
15. Don't you all have better things to do with your time? How much was this telephone?
$108.
Josh, you go to high school?
Yes.
What time do you go to high school, Josh?
9 a.m. to 2:25 p.m.
And what do you do at 2:25?
I go home.
What do you do when you get home?
Whatever I'm doing that day.
Like? Do you ever have a job?
Yeah, I go to work.
It's what we're talking about, Josh. Where do you go to work?
I work at Wendy's.
How many hours a week?
About 20.
Do you have a new cell phone?
No.
Why not?
I didn't buy one yet.
But you're going to.
Yes.
Right?
Yes.
With the money that you get from your job, right?
Yes.
Perfect. Then your mother's not out any money. Look, Miss Andrews, your son is 17 years old. You want Mrs. Amadon to be responsible for her 15-year-old daughter's hissy fit, right?
Yes.
She had a hissy fit because she got a text message on the phone from a girl, right?
Right.
Now, Miss Amadon, she doesn't know anything about this hissy fit that her daughter pulled off, right?
Right.
I'm going to try to give you an analogy that probably is not a really very good analogy, but I'm going to run it up the flagpole anyway. Let's say, instead of having a hissy fit, Leanne, because the hissy fit is not right, took the phone, smashed it, right?
Yes.
Because maybe he didn't do the right thing socially, right? You have another friend that was text messaging you?
Yes.
Let's say one of these two teenagers gave the other a sexually transmitted disease. You think that either one of you mothers would be responsible for that?
No. No.
So why do you think Miss Amadon should be responsible for her daughter's hissy fit?
Because the phone was in my name. And I got it so I could keep track of him, you know, so I could call and check where he was going, who he was with, type deal. And
he used it for other things too. I don't see Mrs. Amadon paying for her daughter's hissy fit. So you're going to buy yourself a new phone from your money at Wendy's, right?
Yes.
This is a very, very good lesson for you, Josh. Women don't like to be made a fool of. Sometimes they cut your clothes in half with you in them. Sometimes they take bleach and they pour it all over the interior of your car. That's what women do. Right?
yes.
Men don't react that way. You know, they just go out there and get dirty. Women think about how they're going to get even. So I want you to think about that next time you have a girlfriend and decide that while you have an exclusive girlfriend, you decide to be a non-exclusive. That's not saying you have to be exclusive. I think you should play the field until you're 40 if you want to. But if you decide to be exclusive and you're messing around, I want you to expect the unexpected. Always happen. Got it?
Yes.
Goodbye.
Parties are excused. You may step out.
Yeah, it's case number 193 on the calendar in the matter of Donis versus Below.
Thank you.
You're welcome, Judge. Parties have been sworn in. You may be seated.
Mr. Donis, the defendant was a friend of yours.
Yes, ma'am.
And you lived together in a house with her.
Yes, ma'am.
And it is your claim that after you told her to leave, she came back sometime later and vandalized your property.
Yes, ma'am.
And the defendant says she didn't do anything to your property. She's got a counterclaim that I'll let her tell me about in short order. When did the defendant move into the house where you were living?
Oh, gosh, I'm going to say 2008.
And did you just have a friendly relationship with her? She seems to say it was more than that.
It was a friendly relationship, yes, it was.
Was there ever a period that it was a more intimate kind of relationship?
No, ma'am, never.
Never?
Never.
She had her own room?
Yes, ma'am.
Who else lived in the house?
A friend of mine. He owned the house.
Name?
Kenny.
How long have you lived there?
Oh, gosh, 4 years.
And Miss Belote, you paid rent there?
No, I did not.
You didn't?
No.
How come?
Because he never asked me to.
Who never asked you to?
Kenny. I did give him money sometimes, but I didn't do it on a daily time or a monthly time, but I gave him money every once in a while.
Were you working?
Yes, I was.
What were you doing with your money?
Giving it to Mr. Donis.
Well, that's something. How much rent were you paying?
$500 a month.
It's an odd sort of an arrangement. What kind of house is this and where?
It's in Riverside, California. It's a 2-story, very old house.
And you work?
Yes, ma'am.
And you work but didn't pay rent?
Yes, ma'am.
You had your own room?
No, I did not. I slept in the same room as Mr. Donis did. I never slept in any other room besides that room.
Is that right?
That's not true, Your Honor.
Where did she sleep?
Upstairs.
Never ever been upstairs. I would not go upstairs. It's a scary room up there.
Okay. Okay. You asked Miss Belote to leave in May?
Yes, ma'am.
May what?
The last 2 weeks of May, I'm not sure of the date.
Tell me why.
Because my lack of wanting a more intimate relationship with her, it begun to weigh heavy on her. She'd begun to constantly bring up my financial situations, my inability to pay certain bills when they're due.
What?
For example, I had a car that had to be smogged and the registration paid. She offered to pay it. And she would later on constantly bring that up and belittle me. So finally, Your Honor, I reached my point. And one evening I said, you know, in the next few days, in a week, take your time, find another place to live. She flew into a rage. She started dumping all the stuff in the house.
So what you're telling me, Mr. Donis, is that during the course of the couple of years that she lived there, she paid for certain things for you?
Yes, ma'am.
And can I say one thing? Oh, sorry about that.
Like what?
Well, for example, we would constantly dine out, dinner or lunch. I say, I can't afford that. I'll get it. We would go to concerts, the theater. She would pay for it.
Okay, well, she wasn't paying rent. She had money. When did this alleged burglary take place after she moved out? On June 1st?
Yes, ma'am.
You have a police report?
I do.
I'd like to see it, please. You told the police that you dated Miss Belote for 3 years while you lived at the residence.
No, I did not. That's what the police wrote down. They wrote down a couple of things erroneously.
Belote stayed with Donis at the house during a portion of their relationship. Donis ended the relationship with Belote about 2 months ago. The police got that all wrong.
No, not all wrong, Your Honor. They just stated a few facts erroneously. We were
Riverside Police Department would not be happy to hear, sir, that you are ascribing to them inaccurate reporting.
Well, they were not happy when I brought that to their attention yesterday. The officers were not happy.
Okay. And of course, Miss Belote, you say that you had nothing to do with this.
No, I did not.
Fine. Now, Mr. Donis, you did not witness this event. You came home and found that the padlock on your door had been removed and your place trashed. You list items here that were trashed. The police did observe the place having been trashed. Now you have to prove to me who did it.
Yes, ma'am.
So, do it.
Well, ma'am, the police took photographs, which I do have also.
Your place was trashed.
Okay.
And burglarized.
Okay. I came home, the locks...
I said that already. You're not paying attention to me.
Well, ma'am, I have a witness that saw her enter the house and saw her exit the house carrying a bedsheet full of things.
I want to see the witness. Is that you?
Yes, ma'am.
Step up.
Can I say anything yet?
No. What's your name?
Jonathan.
Jonathan what?
Years off.
Where do you live?
I live in Riverside, California.
In what proximity to the plaintiff?
About 7 miles away.
And what were you doing at his house, allegedly, on the 1st of June?
I was behind his house waiting for a friend.
Where behind his house?
In my friend's backyard.
What were you waiting for your friend for?
To go hang out.
And you were waiting in the backyard?
Yes, ma'am.
What were you doing in the backyard?
Smoking.
Smoking what?
A cigarette.
Your Honor, if you just said...
And tell me what it is that you allegedly saw, sir.
I saw a tall, blonde, short-haired woman walking through the kitchen door. Then I became frustrated waiting for my friend, so I called my mom to have her come pick me up. I walked across Kenny's house. Then I saw this lady have a bedsheet full of various items, put them into her car, then walk back, grab 4 gallons of water, empty them out on the porch, threw the jugs on the ground, and sped away in her car.
And who did you report this to?
2 days later, I went back and I reported it to James.
And so your mother came and picked you up, so I assume the first person that you told was your mother.
Yes, ma'am.
And so she can corroborate that.
Yes, ma'am.
And on the 3rd of June, when you told the plaintiff, did he ask you to go to the police with him?
No, ma'am.
Did you go to the police at any time to give them a statement?
No, ma'am.
When he went to Riverside Police yesterday to complain about what was written in the report, because it says here, unknown suspect, did he ask you to go with him?
No, ma'am.
Why is that, Mr. Donis?
Well, ma'am, because I neglected to inform the Riverside Police Department after he told me he witnessed her, because I did not want the police involved at her job. She has a very good job, and I didn't want her work disrupted at all.
Very good.
Judge Judy continues in a moment.
It doesn't make sense to me that you wouldn't go back to the police and say, now I have a witness who's prepared to swear under penalties of perjury, where he could go to jail for about 6 months.
And later today.
How old are you?
35.
What's wrong with you?
There's nothing wrong with me.
Well, there is something wrong with you.
Real cases, real people. Judge Judy. James Donis says former roommate Deborah Belote burglarized his room and trashed his belongings. Deborah claims she and James were more than roommates.
Mr. Donis, when your witness goes and swears in a report that he witnessed the burglary and they make an arrest based upon his sworn statement to the police that she burglarized your property, I'll be more than happy to recall and hear your case. Do you understand that, Mr.
Yes, ma'am.
Donis?
Yes, ma'am. Yes,
Is that
ma'am.
reasonable to you, sir?
Of course it is.
Because you called the police that night and you named the defendant as someone who might have been responsible for this burglary. So it doesn't make sense to me that once you have a witness who saw her there, 2 days later you wouldn't go back to the police and say, you know, I didn't see anybody, but now I have a witness who's prepared to swear under penalties of perjury, where he could go to jail for about 6 months, that he actually saw her at the property. Do you understand?
Yes, ma'am.
So are you going to do a hop, skip, and a jump down to Riverside today?
Yes, ma'am.
Perfect. As soon as you do that, I'll see you back here. Bye-bye.
Parties are excused. You may step out.
He's a really good liar and an actor, and that's what he did today to the judge. And she saw it all.
She was unhappy with our relationship.
He said he loved me and cared for me, and I was the only person in his life.
We were never friends to begin with. You wouldn't do this to a friend.
Oh, big time learning experience. You're only done one time in your life, and that was it.
And now the next case.
All parties in the matter of Andreasen versus Behar, step forward, please.
Suzanne Andreasen is suing her former friend, Brian Behar, for rental car fees, parking tickets, and an unpaid iPhone account.
Ms. Andreasen, it is your claim that the defendant owes you for the bills for both a rental car and some sort of U-Haul that were put as a favor in your name, but he agreed to pay for. He kept them for longer than he at least told you he was going to keep them, and you want the money that you were forced to pay as a result of that. I don't know what you say.
I don't owe her anything, ma'am.
Well, that's what you say, but why?
I mean, our whole relationship, you know, I mean...
I don't care about your relationship. Did you use a rental car?
She did get a rental car that I used.
Did you follow my words? Did you use a rental car?
Yes, I did.
Did you pay for it?
No, I did not.
Did you use a U-Haul?
Yes, I did.
Did you pay for it?
No, I did not.
Why?
Because she said she would take care of it.
How old are you?
35.
What's wrong with you? What's wrong with you?
There's nothing wrong with me.
Well, there is something wrong with you. If you need a friend to pay for your rental car and your U-Haul, there's something wrong with you. What kind of work does Miss Andreasen do?
She's unemployed.
How does she support herself?
I'm not sure.
How do you think she supports herself? You say she was a friend of yours. How does she support herself?
I know that she is getting unemployment or whatever, but as far as I know, I mean...
And what do you do?
She has a business that is something to do with some jewelry or whatever.
So she has a business.
Right. I used to own a construction company, and...
I don't care what you used to. You ate yesterday. How do you support yourself?
Right now, I'm unemployed, and I mean...
How do you feed yourself?
Best way I can.
What kind of an answer is that? What'd you need a U-Haul for?
Because I was moving, I had a child on the way, and I needed to leave out of the area that I was in because it wasn't a good area to like raise a child. That turns out the child isn't even mine. But the whole reason that she offered her help was because...
Was she working when she offered to help?
No, ma'am, she wasn't.
Why don't you just pay the bill so I can leave you alone?
I don't owe her the money. I mean,
Why don't you just pay the bill so you can leave her alone? You don't work?
I've given her enough money.
You don't? Well, tell me how much money...
I mean...
Just a second. Tell me how much money you gave her and when.
I don't know. I didn't realize the relationship was on that level. I mean, we were friends.
Give me an idea of how much money you gave her and when.
I mean, there's all kinds of stuff. There's
Give me an example.
An example. She pushes a $600 vacuum when she wants to vacuum her house.
And is what you're telling me you purchased that vacuum?
Yes.
When?
I guess like it was around October of last year. I mean, that's just one. I took her shopping and was like, and I told her, you know, get whatever you want. And she helped me fill up. She helped me fill up a shopping cart full of stuff. You know, what I mean, I didn't realize our relationship was on that level to where I needed to keep.
What kind of level did you think your relationship was on?
I mean, I thought that we were friends, and when we said we were doing something for each other, then that's what it was.
I have a lot of friends. I never bought them a vacuum cleaner. Now, let me see the bills from the rental car and from the U-Haul.
There's also a couple of parking tickets that he got on the vehicle when he had it that he didn't tell me about.
Did he tell you about any of the parking tickets he got?
No. And there's a $1,000 cell phone bill.
Just a second. You told her about the parking tickets?
Yes, I did. Whenever I first got one of the tickets, the other one I may not have told her about because...
Well, when you got the tickets, did you pay them?
I didn't have a chance.
I don't understand
They were
what
one
you...
day...
Sorry. I don't understand what you mean you didn't get a chance.
Well, when I came out in the car had a ticket on it. I got the ticket, put it in the car, and I honestly lost track of the tickets. I don't know what happened to them or whatever, and that's why they didn't get paid. But I mean, like I said, she said she would take care of it. So she knew I was going through a hard time. She knew that I had the kid on the way. She knew that...
Listen to me. Nobody cares about your troubles, sir, especially me. I don't care about your troubles.
Well,
all I know...
she told me she did.
Don't speak when I'm speaking. I didn't take a breath yet. When your friend is unemployed, according to you, and collecting unemployment, that means that they don't have a whole bunch of money.
Or that they don't want to work.
So a friend doesn't take advantage of their situation and take a car that they were supposed to have for a couple of days and keep it for how long? How long did you keep the car?
I don't recall.
A month. Well, let's try a month. When you have no money, you don't rent a car for a month on a friend who has no job.
When they said they would take care of it, you do.
You're an idiot. Because if your excuse is, I thought we were friends and I didn't think that it was a big deal, she said she would take care of it, and you say, I need a car to move from one place to the other, and you know if you keep the car that's on her credit card, there's going to be a big bill. And if you get a ticket because you didn't park in the right space, somebody is going to have to pay that, and it's going to be paid by the person who's got their credit card on the line. You don't say I lost track of it. Idiots lose track of tickets. And very foolish women, really foolish women, put their credit and their credit card on the line in order to have a warm body as a male friend. We understand each other?
Yes.
Very foolish ladies.
Absolutely. Can I say something?
Yes.
I have been renting cars for him for about a year, and he had always paid the bill. And so I had no reason to believe that this situation would be any different.
That's what keeps me in business.
Your Honor.
What? Where's the car bill?
This is for the U-Haul and the...
I see the U-Haul. It's $250.
Yes,
I have
correct.
it here.
There's the other bills right there.
Just the car. What is this?
That's a bank statement.
I don't want a bank statement. I want a bill.
That's the only documentation I have of the charge on the credit card. It's $2,800.
You'll probably see cash deposits on there as well, where I gave her cash when she needed it.
From what? Did you give her cash?
When she needed the cash, and she was having a hard time different times, and I gave her cash.
Just a second. Give me a date.
I don't know. I don't remember a date. I mean, there were several times.
There was 2 deposits made. The first one was when the same day you dropped off the first rental car, you deposited $1,153, and the charge for it was $1,448. The second deposit
also gave you cash.
No, you
I
did
made
not.
the deposit, but I also gave you cash.
You want to talk to each other, or you can go outside and talk to each other, and then I can dismiss the case.
There was another deposit.
Hey,
I'm sorry.
And move on to my next case. So, he paid you $801 and $1,153.
Correct. All of the charges on that, he was the only one that used that card. And so...
Just a second. Okay. Wait a second, please. Check paid May 24th to Avis Rental Car. So that bill was $27.98.
And then there was $1,000 for an AT&T phone that he had.
Well, then you should have canceled that, madam. I don't get into phone bills. Before somebody works up $1,000 on phone bills, you cut off the phone. $376. That's for the U-Haul.
Excuse me, Your Honor.
What?
The cell phone did not get canceled because I had excellent credit. He told me he was paying the bill. I asked him every month, are you paying the AT&T bill? And he said yes. And
call AT&T. I'm not dealing with your phone bill. He owes you for the 2 tickets, the U-Haul, and the difference between what he paid on the rental car and what the rental car cost you. And that total is $1,222. Judgment for the plaintiff.
Parties have been sworn in, Judge. You may be seated. Folks, have seats, please.
Mr. Beauchamp, according to your complaint, you and the defendant were friends. And beginning sometime in 1999, you started to make a series of small loans to the defendant. In total, you say $500. Friendship terminated, and you want your money.
Yes, ma'am.
The defendant says that no time did she borrow $500 from you. She said that she only borrowed $200, but because of the stress that you put her through, she doesn't owe you anything and is counterclaiming for that stress in the amount of $500. What kind of loans, Mr. Beauchamp?
I loaned Miss Rubino a total of $500 from October through December of 1999. The first time she asked me to borrow $100 for her dog. I guess he needed some care or something, so I did loan her the $100. On the second occasion, she had a bed on layaway at a furniture store, and she was about $100 short for that. I did offer to loan her the money for that. And she had wrote a series of bad checks at a bar in Omaha, and she needed to borrow some money to cover those checks, and I did loan that to her.
How much?
The total came to about $500.
No. Not what I asked you. You say the total. This is a court, sir.
Yes.
$100 for the dog, $100 for the bed. How much was the third loan, sir?
That would have been the amount of about $120.
What else?
And then the next loan, the final loan would have been to, again, cover checks in her checking account. And
That's
that total,
not true. Just a minute.
And that came to a total of about $500.
Mr. Beauchamp, so far you haven't established to my satisfaction that you loaned her any money. Because when somebody comes to court, they have dates. They say, on such and such a date, I made a loan in the amount of $100. 2 days later, a week later, I made a loan of another $100. Then you don't tell me it was about $120. And after that, well, all of them totaled $500. You have no clue. You should keep a record of when you lend somebody money.
I do have a letter in my possession that she had sent to me
Then let me see
in November.
it, sir.
Okay.
Maybe that will help me.
It's a letter written by Miss Rubino.
Ah, so you acknowledge you owed him $500.
That was before. I said that to basically get him off my back.
No. Listen to me. Listen to me.
Yes, I did it one time. I no longer feel that way. Well, no.
This
and
was
there's
only a few months ago, madam. A few months ago, you wrote what I consider a straightforward letter indicating that You had been friends with the plaintiff.
Yes.
That clearly in your mind he wanted more than just a friendship. You were not interested in anything more than a friendship.
True.
And that you felt as if because of the way he feels, do I look as if I need help? Because of the way he feels, you shouldn't even continue with a friendship. Pretty straightforward letter and put very well. I have your name, address, etc., and will begin paying you the monies owed, $500, as soon as I am financially able. Thank you for your helping me as I was desperate. Okay, you should keep better notes, Mr. Beauchamp. It would make my life much easier. You're just lucky that you have this letter. Otherwise, you'd be out of luck.
Yes, ma'am.
Good. I'm listening.
I do feel that I owe him $100 for my dog's situation. I do have a pet.
No, listen to me.
I borrowed that.
Shh, listen to me. November 11th of the year 2000, you wrote him this letter acknowledging a debt in the amount of $500. Tell me what happened after November 11th of the year 2000 that you believe vitiates, does away with the debt.
I think that letter is dated November 17th. The reason I'm pointing that out is my birthday was on November 12th.
November 11th.
Okay.
17th is a 1-7. This is a 1-1.
Okay, well, I know I wrote that right after my birthday in which he proposed to me. When I said no, all of a sudden he was suing me for $500. Now I want to say, for one thing, had I just gone with him and made him happy or whatever by marrying him, it was just understood I would owe him no money. You know, we'd be the best of friends and there would be no problems. I won't go all into it, but he kind of thinks everything revolves around money, every emotion, everything. And I cannot be
Right now, that's what it's all about, madam. I'm not here thinking about your emotions.
I know.
I'm not a psychologist, psychiatrist, therapist, counselor, or anything else.
Okay.
I'm here talking about money.
Okay.
On the 11th of November of the
Yes.
year 2000, you acknowledged a debt to him in the amount of $500. I want you to explain to me, after November 11th, did you pay him? Did you pay him back?
No.
Did you have a conversation with him where he said, I am forgiving the loan?
Okay, the $100 loan?
The $500 loan?
No.
So now you tell me why you don't owe him the money.
I do not any longer feel like I owe him any money because he has stalked me, showed up at family functions, and sang love songs to me when I never even invited him. He has embarrassed me, told lies, very personal lies to my sister, to my family, that have been humiliating. We always were just friends, but because he wanted it to be more, he kind of painted this picture to everyone around us.
When did you realize he wanted it to be more?
Oh, about 3 or 4 months into the relationship. I wasn't sure, but after I kept reiterating that we were just friends, about 3 or 4 months I kind of thought, well, there might not be any talking him into just being friends.
After that, did you take any money from him?
After that, no, I didn't take any money from him, but we would go out to shopping
Just a
malls.
second.
We would go out. Okay.
Just a second. When did you first meet her?
I first met her in April of 1999.
And these loans didn't begin until October of 1999.
Yes, ma'am, that is correct.
So if you say that you knew within the first 3 months, you
I wasn't
started
positive.
taking money
All right.
well after you knew that he cared for you in a different way than you cared for him.
I wasn't positive, Your Honor. I just had a gut feeling that there was no talking him out of just being friends, and he wanted more out of the friendship. I wasn't
Then
positive.
you should have written
but
this letter a long time ago and not compounded your foolishness by taking money from him. Bird, look at the second hand on your watch. The defendant has 30 seconds to tell me about her counterclaim.
I do honestly believe that because on the basis of 2 factors that I do not owe Mr. Beauchamp.
I'm talking about your counterclaim, madam, and you're wasting time.
Okay. The reason is because I encouraged my dad to hire him for at least $1,200 of projects. My dad would ask me-
Counterclaim.
Well, this is the $500. This is relating to.
He's going to get the $500, madam. Now I'm talking about your counterclaim.
Okay.
You have a counterclaim for harassment.
Okay.
Mental anguish.
Your Honor, may I speak?
No,
wait,
I didn't ask
this
you a
is-
question. Sit down.
Judge, 30 seconds is up.
Maybe she
well-
didn't understand.
Okay.
So we'll
I
give her
didn't
another
understand,
30
I'm sorry.
seconds. Counterclaim.
Okay.
Stress.
The emotional distress
Yeah.
was basically him harassing me, stalking me, lying about us having a personal relationship, an intimate relationship when we never did, and
You don't get paid
the
for
mental
that.
distress.
You don't
I
get
went
paid
to a
for that.
psychiatrist over it.
Maybe if you had terminated your friendship with him when you first had a clue madam, that he was becoming more emotionally involved with you than you were with him, then you wouldn't be seeing a psychiatrist right now. So I'm dismissing your counterclaim. On your claim, sir, I find that she has acknowledged the debt. She has not paid the debt. You have not forgiven the debt. You are entitled to your money. Judgment for the plaintiff in the amount of $500. That's all.
Parties are excused. You may step out.
What are you going to be, Mr. Beauchamp or Mr. Beauchamp?
I don't have great animosity towards him as long as he stays at least 200 feet away from me at all times.
Honestly, I have no hard feelings towards her at all, and I promise I'll stay with her.
And now the next case.
All parties on Harrelson versus Stracker. Step forward, please.
59-year-old corporate president Seth Harrelson is suing 53-year-old Shirley Stracker and her husband William. Seth says the Stracker's 17-year-old son Jonathan wrecked his daughter's car.
All right, Mr. Harrelson, this is your daughter, I assume?
Yes, Your Honor.
She's 16,
Yes, she is.
and you purchased a car for her.
We actually leased the car for her. We put the down payment for her, and she makes the payments.
And according to your complaint, there came a time when your daughter was out with her new car. You can stand up here with your father. And the defendant's son was there, and he asked if he could drive the car, right?
Correct.
And you said okay.
After asking him if he had a license.
You asked him if he had a license. He said yes.
Yes, Your Honor.
And you let him drive the car.
Yes, Your Honor.
He had an accident, and you want the defendants to pay for all of the unreimbursed expenses that your insurance didn't cover. Mr. and Mrs. Stracker say they didn't have the confidence in their son to let him take driver's ed, to let him have a driver's license. They told him they did not want him to drive yet, and that they should not be held responsible because your daughter let him drive the car. It's a very interesting scenario. Why don't you stand up, sir? Did you and your dad ever have a conversation about letting any of your friends drive your car?
I believe so.
Of course you did. I mean, that sounds normal.
That
Right?
car was for her use only.
Right. So why did you let him drive the car?
Because at the time I was tired and my boyfriend was going to drive the car, but he asked and offered if he could drive, and so I agreed.
Well, did you have your father's permission to let your boyfriend drive the car?
No.
I assume that your boyfriend has driven the car before,
Yes.
without your parents' permission.
Yes.
You didn't know that anybody else was driving this car, I assume.
Wasn't aware of it.
I'm sure. I've had kids of my own who were 16, who I had this discussion with 5 times over.
But we know nothing until after it happens, and then we get smarter.
Right. Tell me about the accident.
We were coming down the street, and upon making a right turn, he stopped in the middle of the lane because he almost missed the street he was supposed to turn right on. And he went to make the right turn, but he made it too late. He pulled into the opposing traffic lane. An oncoming car was coming. He jerked the wheel to the right. He hit off of a curb. The impact from the curb sent us all the way across the other side of the street onto another curb, a lawn, and into a bush, which stopped us from hitting the fence.
What happened when your father found out that he was driving the car?
He was angry. I was grounded for a while.
Now, when did your son turn 16?
July 16th.
Did he ask you to take driver's ed and all that other stuff that kids ask you to take?
Well, I don't recall if he asked me, but I had planned on letting him take it later on, you know, but not now.
Why?
Well, I have 4 sons, and my 3 older ones, I did not allow them to get a car or get their license until they were able to pay for their own car, their own insurance. So, and this was just the rules, so that was the way I was going to have it with him also.
Did you tell him that?
Well, he knew that. Yeah, I've told him that.
What's your first name?
Jonathan.
So you never took driver's ed?
No.
So tell me why you asked Lacey if you could drive the car.
Well, I was just joking around. I didn't really think that she'd let me drive the car. And then she did let me drive the car, which was surprising because she actually did know I did not have a license.
How did she know that?
We've known each other for a while. Everyone in our group of friends makes fun of me because they know I'm not getting my license till I'm probably around 18 or 19, so.
That still doesn't answer my question, Jonathan. Why did you ask her if you could drive the car?
Well, I wasn't really thinking that she'd let me. I was just joking around. It was supposed to be a joke, like.
Okay, so now it was a joke, and then she said okay.
Yeah. And then I stupidly got in the driver's seat, so.
You knew that was wrong.
Yes.
Now, your mother has told me that there were clear rules in your family about not having a driver's license. Were there ever any discussions, arguments in your house, little tiffs about the driver's license?
No, we never.
What a good kid. I don't know if I could get away with that. Let me tell you why this case presents a problem to me, Mr. Harrelson. Ordinarily, I would say, well, he clearly is responsible for at least part of the damage to your car because he did, in fact, get behind the wheel, drove it, and he caused damage to your car, and why should you have to shoulder that yourself? The issue that's presented is, should his parents, who have done everything that they can to ensure that he not drive a car, they've made it clear to him that until he is responsible enough, he does not have their permission to do it, and they've acted on what they said. You felt you could trust your daughter, right?
Correct. I think that my only rebuttal to that would be the fact, okay, my daughter is 16, she wanted to drive a car. I took the time to take her out to parking lots, to school grounds, to big areas where there was no traffic to teach her how to responsibly drive a car. Okay, I took those steps. Nobody had a sign around this boy's neck that says, I do not have a license. He knows he doesn't have a license. Nobody put him behind the wheel of that car except himself.
No, you're wrong, sir.
So-
No, Mr. Harrelson, that's where you mistake. But for your daughter's permission, he would not have been behind the wheel of the car. And while you may have given her driving lessons and taught her how to drive responsibly, she still lacked the judgment and the maturity to be able to say to Jonathan, sorry, Jonathan, you can't drive my car whether you have a license or not because I've made a promise to my parents. So that my problem is, if I could hold Jonathan here partially responsible, I would do that. He's a minor, so I can't do that. I have to find that his parents knew or should have known or in some way enabled him to do what he did. And I find that quite to the contrary, they did everything to avoid his being behind the wheel of a car. That's why his parents aren't responsible. Now, if they knew that he had done this sort of thing before, I would say, yes, they are at least partially responsible. But I, quite frankly, Mr. Harrelson, cannot find them partially responsible. He is. I mean, she may have given you permission, given you the car keys and turned the car over to you, but nobody grabbed you by the throat and put you into the car. So, Mr. Harrelson, I will certainly tell young Jonathan here that he's a very young man, and if he wants to start his life out right, taking care of his own obligations, and if you want to be mature enough, and if you want to drive a car before you're 50 years old, because I guarantee you, I'm looking at your mother in your mother's house, you ain't going to drive a car so soon. Now, in the law, because Jonathan is a minor, I cannot enter a judgment against him. I could enter a judgment against his parents for contributory negligence, because he was contributorily negligent in this accident. But I would have to satisfy myself that they in some way either knew, actively or tacitly, or encouraged him to get behind the wheel of a car, any car, and that would be by participating in him getting a license, by participating in driver's ed. Quite the contrary. In their case, sir, he was told, you can't drive. But you have to understand, Mr. Harrelson, but for the actions of your agent, and in this situation, your daughter was your agent, because you chose to give her a car. You gave her certain rules, which she violated with regard to other people driving the car. So, but for her actions, we would not be here today. Therefore, I can impugn her negligence in letting him drive that car to you. His parents didn't allow him to do that. And if I were to say that they were financially responsible to you, I would be impugning his negligence to them. And they did everything that they could to see to it that their son did not drive a car until they thought he was responsible. I'm telling you, your daughter may know how to drive a car, but she violated your trust on many more than this one occasion. So grounded is one thing, but I would rethink it in any event. For the reasons that I've outlined, your lawsuit is dismissed. That's all.
Found in the matter of Johnson versus Fidelis. Parties have been sworn in, Judge. You may be seated.
Mr. Johnson, did you ever hear the expression when you were growing up, good guys finish last?
Yes, I have heard it, and I found that out.
You're the good guy.
Yes, I am.
I don't necessarily think he's the bad guy. Let me see if I can explain to my comrade over here what this case is about. You had an employee,
right,
a woman,
Yes.
What kind of business are you in?
I'm in the plumbing business, service and repair.
And what did this woman do for you?
She answered telephones and did some light office work.
And then there came a time when she was arrested.
Correct.
What was she arrested for?
It was 3 felony drug charges.
And she asked you if you would post her bail.
Correct.
And here's where we get the good guys finish last. You said, okay.
I didn't say okay right away. She called me 6 times begging to get me out, begging to get her out, and I wasn't going to do it. Then she said, look, I'll sign my car over to you if you get me out. I said, are you sure you want to do that? I says, okay, I'll get you out. So I didn't think there was going to be that big of a deal. It did turn out to be a big deal, though. So you posted the bail and with this gentleman? Mr. Fidelis, yes. And how much did you have to actually give him in cash? It was $2,515. The bail was $25,000, 10%.
And that means that if she failed to appear, since you are saying I will vouch for her, you would have been responsible for the entire $25,000 if she chose not to appear.
Correct, that's the way the contract is written, yes.
Is that correct so far?
That is correct, Your Honor.
Bare bones. And subsequently, she was terminated from her job.
Correct.
You got nervous.
Well, she became...
So you called Mr. Fidelis.
Correct.
And what did you say to him?
Well, I told her, I says, the only reason I'll go to the bail bondsman right now to have you put back in jail is because you don't have any place to go outside the state of California. She goes, oh, yes, I do. And I also know the state of California will never come and extradite me. And I advised her the financial risk I took in getting her out of jail. So after hearing this, I then contacted Mr. Fidelis about this. I want her back in jail. I want out of this bond. And on the 28th...
Just a second. We're not...
Oh, I'm sorry. Okay.
Don't get ahead of me.
Okay.
So you contacted Mr. Fidelis. Mr. Fidelis did not pick her up.
I did not pick her up, Your Honor.
And that caused you to hire an attorney.
Correct.
To go to court and make a motion to have this bail forfeited. Plus you had to lose days at your business because
Correct.
You went to several court hearings.
Yes.
And you want Mr. Fidelis to pay you back for your legal fees and for your lost time at work because he didn't pick her up and get you off the hook. That's what your lawsuit.
Basically, yes.
So you contacted Mr. Fidelis, and Mr. Fidelis said what?
He agreed to pick her up. He signed a document. He and I both signed it on the 28th of June.
Can I see it, please?
Your Honor, I did not agree to pick her up.
Just a second, I want to see the document that he says you signed that you would pick her up. This is a request for surrender of defendant.
Correct.
And release from liability, and it says that you have information that would lead the court to believe that there is increased potential for the defendant's flight. You signed it, and he signed it.
Correct.
Where does it say here that he agrees to pick her up?
He agreed verbally that he would...
Just a second. He doesn't say here that he agrees to pick her up.
I understand that document there, yes.
Okay.
But he did tell me, in this letter that I did address to him, that he would have his people pick her up. Okay, he agreed. He quoted me a fee. I asked him what it was going to be. It's going to be $500 to $600. He says, fine, pick her up. I'll pay it. He never would. He had me sitting around the office with her because I wanted to be there, make sure she was there, so there wasn't going to be any problems.
What date was this?
It was signed on the 28th. On the 30th, I called him to notify her that she could come, that he could come pick her up, which he never did. He kept promising he was going to pick her up. Here's bail agent.
Just a second. You said to him on the 30th, he signed this, and you signed this.
It was signed on the 28th.
And then on the 30th, you called him and said, well, come pick her up. She's in the office.
Right.
Just a second.
I'm sorry.
And what did he say to you?
He told me that he was going to contact his bail agent and that he would have her picked up. I kept calling him about every 30 minutes asking, why are they here? He would never call me back, and then he promised me he was going to come personally and pick her up and take her into custody before the day was out. He never showed up.
Okay, now what happened on that day, sir, the 30th of June?
I don't recall that day, Your Honor. On the 25th...
25th of what?
The plaintiff of June, 2004.
I'm talking about the 30th, 2 days after you signed this request for surrender.
Nothing happened that day, Your Honor.
Well, he says that he contacted your office several times.
No, these are all false statements that the plaintiff is making.
Okay. Did you know this lady from any previous time? Had you ever had any previous dealings with her?
No, Your Honor.
She was a stranger to you?
Yes.
What did you tell Mr. Johnson when you signed this?
If at any time she became a risk at any time, you would have to justify and give good cause to surrender her over to the court. Now,
Just a second, how did you tell him to do that?
By picking her up himself and surrendering her over to the proper authorities.
Did you tell him, just a second.
Yes.
Did you tell him that?
Yes,
that he
I
has
did.
the right to take her by the arm
Yes.
and bring her to court? You
Yes.
told him that?
Yes, Your Honor.
No, you didn't.
Yes, I did, Your Honor.
No, you didn't. You know, I can tell that because you looked at the floor when you said that. I don't believe it, and I don't believe that it's even appropriate for somebody to grab somebody else by the arm and say, I'm dragging you to court. I can just imagine what would go on in this town if that happened. It would be a free-for-all. So he's
Your
saying
Honor.
listen to me. He's saying to a professional, I want you to pick her up.
I cannot, Your Honor.
Fine. Then you have to tell him what to do.
And I did. I gave him all the information by the laws of the state. He could have done whatever he wished at that point.
Then what does this say, sir? Then what is this for? What is this surrender document
The
for?
surrender
Just so
document-
that you're on alert for something?
Your Honor, that document is a standard document that is required when and if you surrender the defendant over. He did not show good cause.
Just a second. He did not show good cause.
For the surrender of the defendant.
To whom?
To myself.
Ah, here we go.
Yes.
Well, we're going to get there. I want to tell you something. We're going to get there to where I want to be, whether you like it or not. We understand each other?
Yes, Your Honor.
So what you're saying is what he told you about the conversation that he had with this lady was not sufficient in your judgment to pick her up.
Yes, Your Honor.
Ah, right.
Judge Judy continues in a moment.
The judge on the same date issued a bench warrant for her arrest with $50,000 bail, sir.
Yes.
If she wasn't required to be there, he wouldn't have issued a warrant for her.
And later today,
Have a good time at your prom?
Yes.
You paid $428 for 6 hours. Now you're suing Mr. Ginsburg for $5,000. You want to explain that to me, Mrs. Drew?
real cases, real people. Judge Judy. Clifford Johnson says bail bondsman Michael Fidelis owes for attorney fees and lost wages. Clifford says when Michael refused to surrender a bailee, he had to hire a lawyer.
Now, in June, did she make a court appearance?
Yes, I actually have the docket showing she made over 9 appearances, each and every time over a 7-month duration.
Did there ever come a time she failed to appear?
No, she did not.
Is that correct, sir?
No, it's not correct. She failed to appear on December 1st, and I have the court document where the judge issued
May I
a
see it,
$50,000 warrant for arrest.
Let me see both documents, please, Bert.
Right here, highlighted.
On December 1st, bail was exonerated. That's when you had a lawyer come in with you?
They posted the day before with the court.
And he has bench warrant issued.
Warrant, Your Honor, if...
Bail is set at $50,000, mandatory appearance.
Well, Your Honor, she had hired private counsel, and her presence was not required on December 1st. That's why the bond was exonerated and not forfeited on December 1st. If she was ordered to appear on December 1st and she was not present, the bond would have been forfeited, not exonerated, regardless the motion defense counsel, the third party for the plaintiff, had filed.
The judge on the same date issued a bench warrant for her arrest with $50,000 bail, sir.
Yes.
If she wasn't required to be there, he wouldn't have issued a warrant for her.
Then why wasn't she detained on December 16th?
I don't know, sir, why she wasn't detained on December 16th.
That's obviously an error of the court.
All I'm telling you is a bench warrant was issued for her on December 1st. Your problem, Mr. Johnson, is that after June, when you requested that he pick her up,
Yes.
she appeared June 17th, July 19th, August 2nd, September 20th, October 13th, November 2nd. She appeared on all those dates.
She sure did.
She sure did. Well, you got a problem, sir. That's why nice guys finish last. She did
Your
make
Honor.
1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 appearances before December 12th.
Your Honor, from the attorneys that represented me, they told me that there's a California law that
Listen
requires...
to me. You cannot tell me what the attorneys told you. That's
Okay.
hearsay. And what I'm telling you is I'm trying to be reasonable with you.
I
I don't
understand.
think that he's being honest with me as to what your conversations were with each other, and also initially whether or not he had a responsibility to act on your information. But if I look at the objective data, Mr. Johnson, this defendant, not this defendant, but this defendant did in fact make 6 court appearances. And you had the ability during each of those court appearances to go in, to hire a lawyer, do the exact same thing as you did on December 1st and say, listen, I have this information and I don't want to be responsible for this bail anymore. Ultimately, the case was resolved.
She was sentenced to jail.
Ultimately, the case was resolved. She pled guilty, but she did, in fact, appear on 6 other court dates.
She barely made 2 of those court payments.
Your Honor.
Mr. Johnson, nice guys finish last. Don't postpone for anybody anymore. That's all.
Parties are excused. You may step out.
This is crazy. What I think is the real motive is he has something going on with her.
No, I do not. I personally think, after speaking with the defendant in the criminal case, that he wanted something more than an employee-employer relationship.
He was calling her, trying to get her to go out and date. On a date is what he was doing.
I do not appreciate his defamatory and slandering comments.
There are other girls in my office that told me this stuff. They overheard conversation between him and her.
I explained to her, I have nothing to do with that. You need to appear in court when you're ordered to and finish your case.
And now the next case.
All parties in the matter of Rue versus Ginsburg. Step forward, please.
Daycare worker Angela Rue is suing limo company owner Paul Ginsburg for a refund of his fee. Angela claims the limo he provided for her twin son's prom was filthy.
Mr. Ginsburg, how many limousines do you have in your fleet?
9.
Mrs. Rue, you reserved the limousine for your boy's prom, is that right?
Yes.
From Mr. Ginsburg's company. How did you find his company?
Off the internet.
These are your 2 boys?
Yes, ma'am.
When did they graduate? This past June?
Yes.
And when was their prom?
May the 22nd.
And what did you reserve?
A 6-passenger limo, a new model Lincoln limo for my kids.
Did he tell you how much it would be?
$428 for a party package limo.
Is that what a party package is, sir? $428?
We don't have party packages as per se. A party package is how they dress up a limousine. But it's by the hour, times however many hours, plus tax and tip.
What did he tell you that they would have in the limo to dress it up?
It would be like a party scene, balloons, confetti and everything like that. Little soft drinks in there.
And what time is it supposed to arrive?
7 o'clock.
What time did it arrive?
7:15.
So what's the problem?
The problem is when the limo got there, I'm expecting a new limousine. Like it had a broken tail light. The car was dirty. The tinted windows had bubbles all up in it. Inside of the limo, it had a cut, which it had a chocolate bar inside. I didn't know that until later after my son got to the prom and he sit on it and got out and had a big old chocolate stain on his tux.
Did you take photographs of it?
Yes, ma'am.
May I see them, please?
This is all this inside.
Miss Rue, did you prepay this limousine, the $428?
I paid it as it arrived there. I paid it.
The inside doesn't look so bad to me.
But inside...
What do you think?
Hard to tell from here, to be honest with you.
Sure is. Son looks pretty good in the tux. Pretty girl.
Yeah.
Whose date was that? Yours?
Yes.
Still with her?
Huh?
Sort of. The outside has these little bubbles in it. Is that what you're talking about?
Funky.
Yes, and I also have a videotape.
Okay, so now I'll take a look at the videotape, because so far I see a broken taillight, but nothing that strikes me as being disastrous, quite frankly.
And they said the seat is ripped. We might can live with that, but for $400, you need to get the discount or something. See here, look. Look, ain't this trash up in this here corner? See this tail light? It's flashing and it's white, okay? I just want to put this on the camera. Tail light's broken. Left hand side blinking is blinking white, not red. I should have been a lawyer. Bringing me some cases.
Did you have a good time at your prom?
Yes.
Did you have a good time at your
Yes.
prom? Sure you did. Did you rent your tuxedo?
Mm-hmm. Yes.
You brought it back with the chocolate stain?
No, we went in the bathroom and cleaned up.
You paid $428 for 6 hours. Now you're suing Mr. Ginsburg for $5,000. You want to explain that to me, Mrs. Rue?
For hardship.
What kind of
Disaster.
hardship?
Because this only happened once in a lifetime for my kids, a prom. This is a remember
The boys
moment.
had a good time at their prom.
After they cleaned up the chocolate off his pants and was disappointed because of the limo.
Ms. Rue, I don't know if you've ever seen me do cases involving limousine companies around prom time. I am very, very hard on a limousine company that overbooks, that disappoints kids, that doesn't get there in time, that sends the wrong kind of car, that doesn't send a car that's large enough to accommodate. I'm really tough on them because I think that that's, you know, without a conscience if you do that to kids and you disappoint them and don't provide a service. But quite frankly, life isn't perfect. And while this limousine probably could have been spruced up a little bit more, and while clearly I saw a tiny cut in the seat, you say there was some chocolate, something in there that got on your son's pants. He said he went into the bathroom, cleaned it up, and then you went and you had a great time at your prom. Fair statement?
Yes.
The only one that didn't have a good time was you. And you have to teach your children the following. You have to teach your children that there are things that you get excited about in this life and that aggravate you in this life, and there are things that you just pass over. And you say, listen, things could have been better. You had a great time. Glad you had a great time. Next time we won't use Mr. Ginsburg's company.
Exactly.
That's all. But you're not entitled to $4,500 for your aggravation.
I understand that.
Right. And when you went and followed him and he had a broken tail light, there was a white light instead of a red light, I guarantee you your children didn't know that. The only ones that knew that were the people that were following him, videotaping for sort of sport this event. So, Mr. Ginsburg, let me explain to you, got off lucky, sir. Because while things could have been neater in your limousine, and you'd probably have to spruce up your fleet a little bit, you're entitled to your $428. You provided a service for the 6 hours. The boys had a good time. And their mother has to get over it. That's all. Case is dismissed.
Parties are excused. You may step out.
بسم الله والصلاة والسلام على رسول الله. اللهم صل وسلم وبارك على سيدنا محمد. كل سنة وانتم طيبين. يلا بينا نعمل حاجة للشتاء علشان ليلة الإسراء والمعراج. كل سنة وانتم طيبين. معايا دلوقتي أنا جبت نص كيلو حمص. نقعته حوالي ساعتين 3 أو من بالليل وتعمليه تاني يوم الصبح بقى بالشكل ده. تمام؟ لايك وكومنت واشتراك في القناة وفعلي زر الجرس على الكل علشان يوصلك مني كل جديد. زي ما انت شايفة كده بقى بالشكل ده بعد فترة. طيب انا ما عنديش وقت وعايزة اعمله علشان هاكل على طول. هتعملي ايه؟ هعمل ايه؟ هحطه في مية مغلية واولع النار عليه، تغلي عليه غلوة واحدة بس واطفي. تمام كده؟ اسيبه نص ساعة وارجع احطه على النار مرة تانية لانه بينفش في المية السخنة فايه بيستوي معاكي بسرعة. طيب محتاجة ان انا احطه على النار على طول، حطيه، بس انك تطفي عليه النار ربع ساعة كده او نص ساعة هتفرق معاكي كتير في التسوية. هتوفري على نفسك الغاز او بوتاجاز اذا كنتي بتستخدمي انبوبة. تمام يا بنات؟ هنعمل حمص الشام. طبعا الشتاء بيحب الاكل وخاصة بالليل وعايزين حاجات صحية وفي نفس الوقت حاجات تدفي، فما قدامناش الا نعمل الحمص الجميل ده حاجة من غير زيت ولا سمنة ولا سكر ولا اي حاجة غير حبة ملح وتوابل. طبعا صحية جدا. علشان هعمل الحمص اللي انتوا شايفينه ده. الكوباية منه بره مش عارفة بكام بس غالية جدا. احنا هنوفرها وهنعملها في البيت. يبقى احنا متفقين ان انا جبت ب20 جنيه حمص. تعالوا نشوف هنعمل قد ايه ونعمل كام كوباية من الحمص الجميل بتاعنا ده. مشروبات الشتاء اللي بتدفي مع الليمون يا سلام والكمون. انسي بقى انك تقولي اي حاجة تانية. جبته خلاص انا كده. بعد ما نقعته هبدأ احطه على النار وهنبدأ نزوده بالمية. جبت الحلة زي ما هي كده اهي، ولعت عليها البوتاجاز وهنشوف هنعمل ايه فيها. يعني الموضوع سهل وبسيط، مش محتاج. كل اللي انا هعمله طبعا المية دي قليلة. طيب هنحط الملح؟ لا، هنستنى الملح لما يقرب يستوي. المية دي مغلية سخنة. علشان ابقى صريحة معاكم، انا جايباها من الحنفية من السخان بعد ما سخنتها على اعلى درجة، يعني تعتبر مغلية متقدريش تتحمليها. حطيت المية دي، واهم حاجة اللايك يا بنات، اوعي تنسوني علشان بيرفع الفيديو. حطيت المية دي وهغطي الحلة وهسيبه يستوي شوية. تمام. لو وصلتوا معايا لحد كده اوعوا تنسوني في لايك وكومنت واشتراك في القناة وتفعلي زر الجرس على الكل علشان يوصلك مني كل جديد. طبعا عايزين مية كتير فانا هزود المية كمان. هو راسه ناشفة فبياخد سوا كتير، بيتأخر على النار مهما عمل. انا في الوقت ده بحط له حبة عصير طماطم، لو طماطمايه كده مفيش انا عندي صلصة زي ما انت شايفة كده، هحط معلقتين حلوين من الصلصة دي بتديله لون رهيب. شايفين المية اتغيرت؟ هو ده السر بتاع العربيات اللي بيخفوه عنك، اللي هو الصلصة او طماطمايه عصير بس كده. شايفينه ما شاء الله شكله تحفة. هحط له المعلقة التانية اهي. دي طماطم انا مسوياها، ضرباها في الخلاط ومصفياها ومسوياها علشان تبقى جاهزة معايا في اي وقت. تمام. زي ما انتي شايفة كده هغطي الحلة دلوقتي وهنستنى نشوف على النار لحد ما يقرب يستوي. دلوقتي بصوا اللون بقى تحفة. دلوقتي هبدأ احط الملح بتاعتي والتوابل علشان اظبط الدنيا للحمص بتاعي. شايفين بيغلي. معلومة تانية، لما يبدأ يغلي تهدي النار عليه علشان يستوي معاكي كويس، لان كل ما كانت النار هادية كل ما استوى بسرعة، مش كل ما كانت النار عالية. النار عالية بتاخد غاز على الفاضي وبتغلي بسرعة لكن ما بتعملش حاجة. تمام كده اهو. حطيت الملح، طبعا تاخدي بالك ما تزوديش الملح، خليه زيادة سنة لان احنا لسه هنحط له مية تاني بعد ما يستوي. لو انت لسه هتحطي مية، لو مش هتحطي يبقى ظبطيه على اكلك. حطيت معلقة كمون، دي معلقة كبيرة فدي معلقة صغيرة، الحبة الصغيرين دول. كمان هنحط الشطة علشان تدفينا في الشتاء. الشطة من الحاجات اللي بتدفي يا بنات. تمام. حطيت الشطة والكمون ولا اي حاجة تانية. لايك يا بنات، لايك. وكل شوية اقول لكم اوعوا تنسوا اللايك يا بنات. هغطيها واسيبه بقى علشان يتظبط الملح بتاعه ونشوفه بعد ما يستوي. ما شاء الله بصوا الشكل تحفة. هو بيتغرف كده وهو مغلي كده بالبخار بتاعه على طول. استوى يا سلام، وخد شكل ولون وطعم حكاية. يلا بينا نغرفه ونشوف هنقدمه ازاي. شرط اساسي عشان اقدمه لازم يكون معاه كمون وكمان شطة، وكمان ممكن تعملي دقة ليه. الدقة بتعمليها انك انتي بتعملي فصين توم كده وتطشيهم بمعلقة صلصة صغيرة وكمان حبة خل وليمون، بتطلع معاكي تحفة. وتزودي مية. غرفنا وزي ما انت شايفة كده الكوباية دي تسوى 20 جنيه برا. شوف احنا عملنا 3 كوبايات اهم ب60 جنيه، هنقول ب10 جنيه يعني ب30 جنيه. معايا لسه اغرف مثلا 6 تاني زي كده. بصوا يا بنات الموضوع يستاهل. جبت ليمونة وقطعتها، طبعا ما يحلاش غير بالليمون. حاجة كده عظمة، بألف هنا وشفا. شايفين شكله تحفة. الكمون والليمون حاجة كده خيال. بتدفي بتمنع نزلات البرد، بتخفف كمان نزلات البرد عليكي لان فيه ليمون وحاجة صحية بصراحة. الوصفة ممتازة، الطريقة بتاعتها سهلة وسريعة جدا، اقتصادية، من 20 جنيه. شوفوا هنعمل قد ايه، يعني حاجة كده عظمة. بألف هنا وشفا. اوعي تنسيني في اللايك الجميل. جربيها زي ما قلتلك كده، هيطلع معاكي تحفة زي العربيات وافضل. ولحد كده الوصفة بتاعتي خلصت. يا رب تعجبكم وتنال إعجابكم وأكون ضيفة خفيفة عليكم لحد كده. والسلام عليكم ورحمة الله وبركاته. استنوني في فيديوهات تانية كتير بإذن الله.